Welcome to the Brave Podcast. My name is Angelo. I normally go by Exploring with Angelo here on YouTube. I go to haunted places, abandoned places, and many strange places around the world. Tonight we have an exciting episode. We're going to be getting into a lot of stuff, probably about abandoned places and haunted places and, fun stuff like that. Before we get into that, let me introduce my co-host, Moshi.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Brave Podcast. I need to remind you guys, because I forgot on the last episode to say this, but we're also on another platform. So if you check out Rumble, which you can download on iPhone or Android or probably PC, we do some episodes there where we can't talk about stuff on YouTube. We could talk about it there. So it gets spicy and interesting over there. Also, check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Tonight, I get to introduce two new friends of mine. Tonight, you get to meet Andrew and Craig. Welcome, guys.
Yeah, what's going on? So we got Andrew, and then we got Craig. So, what have you guys been up to, man? Haven't seen you guys in quite some time.
Yep, been some time.
Yeah, it's been, 4 years maybe?
I think about 4 years.
Something like that. But we've always stayed in touch. I never know who the hell I'm talking to when I'm talking, because there's three of you, right? So I'll message you guys, and I'm like, I'm assuming it's most likely Craig, but I'm not really sure,
So
right?
anytime anybody messages any of the accounts or anything like that, it's
usually you. Okay, so you guys normally go by
he's too stoned to do anything.
Oh my god, that's so funny. But yeah, you guys go by Forgotten Productions, and like me, you guys started off in the Urbex industry, where you guys go to abandoned places, film, that whole thing. But what have you guys been up to recently? What's going on in your life?
All work, no play.
All work, no play.
Yeah.
What are you doing these days?
Oh, I've been working concrete construction.
That's
good stuff.
It's a good industry.
Some days.
Yeah,
long days. But it pays the bills. So.
I love how I just had the camera angle in reverse because I'm not used to this, but man, there you go. That's fine. So what about you, Andrew? What are you doing these days?
I've just been working like crazy.
Yeah.
Just trying to save up some money, just to get a little further in places,
Yeah, I feel that.
Still explore, just not as much as we used to.
Yeah. So how often do you guys go out and actually
we explore all the time? I just don't upload because the drama in the community. It's just
it's a bit much.
Right.
I know. I remember when we had Ethan on, and even when we had Freaktography and Carlo on as well, we were kind of going into some of it. Some people in this community are just toxic. It's a little too early. I was going to swear, but it's a little too early in the podcast to be swearing. So, but yeah, it's very toxic. There's a few people that go by very weird acronyms in the community.
We don't need to go to those guys today. You guys can check out one of the other episodes for that.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not going to go into that, but so how did you guys, so you guys are cousins?
Yeah, we're
that's
cousins.
What it is, right? Yeah, okay, I got that right.
And Mikey, who you guys see in some of our other clips and stuff like that, that's, I think, his best friend from high school.
Oh, yeah, okay. High school best friend. Yeah, he's our camera guy.
Nice.
Well, I just needed a guy to come take some photos one day, and the kid just, hey, can I come? And it's just like, yeah, no problem, man.
Sure, whatever, right? So you guys created basically like a team, a throuple, essentially, right? But yeah, that's cool.
Is Mikey a cousin as well?
No.
Just friend.
Just
his friend.
Very good. Yeah. Nice.
But so how did you guys get into exploring abandoned places? What motivated you?
For me, what started for me was have to be the Whippy Psych back in 2000, I think 2002, 2003.
That was one that I missed, I think.
Yeah, those were the good old days.
Yeah,
I was young then.
That was the one, if I recall correctly, that Billy Talent filmed.
That's
one
right.
of their
Try Honesty.
Try Honesty. Yeah.
Oh,
have you ever seen that video?
Is it a house?
It's an abandoned asylum, essentially.
Yeah, you can see the swing out front, the building in the background.
Nice.
Yeah.
As every teenager does in the big asylums, you wander around at nighttime drunk with your friends, having a good old time.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's what the Whippy Psych was all about, right? It's just let's go, boys. Where we going?
Exactly.
And of course, by the end of the night, you're getting chased out by the Durham police helicopter flying above, right? Please exit the ground.
As one does. Yes.
I think that's pretty common nowadays for a lot. I'm finding a lot of places now in Canada are just on super lockdown. You can't get into them anymore.
Yeah, which sucks.
Yeah.
It's you just want to go in there and kind of see what's in there, and
exactly.
It's really? I can't get in there. You see something cool from the window, and it's man, I want to see that.
I'm literally like this close. There's a chair. I need to see that chair. And it's funny too because Urbex half the time is literally just empty rooms with like one single chair or no chair at all. There's just like rubble everywhere.
Gotta have
and
that picture, man.
Right, exactly. Right? You gotta have that decay at the end of the day. I can think another one is Muskoka Sanatorium. You guys have done that place.
I love that place.
How many times have you guys been there?
We've been there a few times, but the only time we went and recorded it was that one video. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys had like a weird experience there with the paranormal, which we'll get into in a little bit. But I think Muskoka Sanatorium is like most newbie people from like, you know, the greater Toronto area.
That's where they all
like,
run to first.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
One of the first like locations. And I remember when I first started, I used to get messages all the time like, oh, it's Muskoka Sanatorium. Is it easy to go to? And it's funny too, because we have like a thing, like there's a code in the community where we try not to name places, right? And especially because Muskoka would always get so much heat. Attention. I'm kind of naming it now, but whatever. We're talking to podcast. Who cares? It's been named like 4 billion times. But I always used to mess with people like watching the videos, and I would say it was in like a completely different area. I would be like, oh, that I'm currently in the sanatorium in Wasaga Beach, or I'm in the sanatorium in Sable Beach or Asylum or whatever I would say. And I would literally get comments like,
send them the pin,
oh,
you know, like,
yeah, exactly.
I'm here and I don't see the building.
I'm standing outside. Are you in there right now?
Angelo, answer me, please.
But yeah, I literally used to do stuff like that all the time. Just give them either a different province or a different, like, completely wrong area. Like, even when I would film stuff in Quebec, I would say I was in, like, either Ontario or, like, PEI or something, like, stupid that just obviously...
That's like our one video of the abandoned neighborhood. I get so many messages from people, oh, that's Downsview Park, isn't it? I know that's Downsview Park. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, no, it's not. It's nowhere even near there. So, like, leave me alone, you know? Please, can you just help me? Okay, it is Downsview Park. It is. Do you want the pin for it? And I send them to the little creek down there. Like, oh, good times.
It's down there. You just got to cross the water. But yeah, so you guys are still in Toronto, right? You guys are in like East End or West End? East End, right? So how's that? How's it? How is Toronto these days treating you guys? Is it?
It's Toronto.
It's just rough.
Yeah.
What are your likes and dislikes about the city?
Well, nothing really. I mean, I'd rather to be more quiet. I want to be in the country, you know.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
I don't like the loud noise, just because.
That's what I love about the city.
I like the
hustle and bustle.
Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun once in a while. Like if you go to like a new city that you've never really experienced, I mean, like I'm down for it like once.
Even then, I find I'd be stuck there for a month because there's just so much to look at.
I guess.
Do, right?
Yeah. I guess it's kind of like going to Manhattan. You're just very overwhelmed, right?
Like, I can't leave yet.
Yeah.
I haven't seen every single thing yet.
You're,
Moshi, did you see that bird fly by? We don't have those in Toronto. What breed was that?
I mean, it's true. Sometimes you go to certain places.
1 second.
Yeah, exactly. Let me open the bird encyclopedia and check out what it was.
Wait, I think my phone will scan it.
Dude, you don't know how many times I've actually had to do that, trying to figure out like because I travel a lot, right? So I see all kinds of different types of animals and I have no idea what they are. You just like assume the name and then you talk about it in a video and you just have people like, no, that's not what that is. They don't have hogs in Arizona. They're like Antillians or something. I think that's what they're called. I could even be getting that wrong, but yeah, it's pretty wild, some of the shit that you see sometimes on the road. But yeah, I'm not really big of a city person. We were talking about it before. I'm like, I'm kind of that type of person. I want to, be out in the woods or like on a ranch or something with chickens and other animals, maybe a cow or two, and make my own steak at the end of the year or whatever. Right? Exactly.
The new Breaking Bad's coming out, I heard.
So when it came to exploring, which one of you guys started first?
Craig.
Yeah, that'd
Craig?
be me. Yeah. Like I said, like since back in like 2003, it's just been an addiction, and then I honestly had no idea about like the YouTube thing and the community and videos on there. And I think it was I think it was Freaktography that I found first online.
He's been around the block. He's like he's like an Urbex whore, that guy, right? So he's just literally everywhere, getting inside of every building, right? One way or another. Yeah. And he even, the craziest part is that he even sleeps in some of them. Like there'll be some of the most disgusting buildings you could possibly imagine, like mold, like literally the vegetation from outside is now growing inside. Right. And he will find spots where he'll set up his cot and he'll just sleep anywhere.
It's all part of the adventure.
I guess so. Right. I mean, I'm
like
good
to
with,
me, like, let's go.
I'm good with just like a hotel. I'm a classy bitch. What can I say? But yeah, that's cool. So your paranormal experiences, what, I guess, is Muskoka the only one, or have you guys had other ones?
Maybe for him, that might be like exploring wise.
Yeah.
That's gotta be like the worst one, because it was just like you can see the numbers 666 and.
Okay. So you have to explain what happened.
All the camera equipment draining. Everything. Yeah.
Literally.
It was wild.
Yeah, that place is. There's a lot going on in that place when it comes to the paranormal, whether you believe or not. But it's so active. Every time I go there, it's always something different happening. Mm-hmm. Like I've had times where we've had like huge, loud, unexplainable bangs and running, and the responses are very, very active. The energy is super
you got
heavy.
The good stuff to hunt for ghosts.
What about two kids laughing?
That's like what you guys
there
had?
was two little girls laughing, running down the hallway.
Oh my god!
Oh man, did you guys get that on camera?
I didn't. No. No.
So who got that?
I believe that was part of my film, but
from your point.
Like I said, just 666.
His quality, I'm not gonna lie, he's a little rookie on his angles.
When it comes to holding,
so I tend to cut a lot of his footage, right? And he knows. He's like, bro, you didn't use any of my footage in that video. Why? Like, Andrew, come over and I'm gonna show you why. Okay?
Oh, bro, that's funny.
I'm like, just looking at the ground the whole time.
What do you mean the ground's not what we're supposed to? We didn't come here for the ground. What do you mean?
Because he's checking everything out, right? And he's just.
I mean, anytime somebody's kind of new to it, it's a little bit of a challenge to kind of figure out. I mean, I was really bad when it came to filming. I moved really quick, and I still kind of move relatively quick depending on what I'm doing, but most of my focus now is not really obviously on abandoned places. I do mostly like, Randonautica stuff, or I'll do haunted locations, things like that, where typically you're going to move a little bit quicker because either you're chasing or being chased. So it's either one or the other.
We tried the Randonautica thing.
Did you?
Yeah.
How did it go?
Yeah. I don't know.
It was all right.
It was all right. Yeah. It was interesting.
Yeah.
You didn't put out a video on it?
Yeah, it's out there.
Is it?
It should be on the internet.
I gotta check that one out.
Oh yeah, here.
I mean, it's nothing like yours.
Oh.
I wish.
You guys took a hiatus for a little while too, so that's just because of work, obviously.
That's just
right? You guys
work.
are just
like I said, I got an
all.
army of kids. So.
Right. Kids come first, right?
They're the most important thing.
What's the plan? Like, what do you want to do? Is there a plan for you?
For me, it was just
fun,
uploading a video, having some fun with my buddies, and never about making money or anything like that. To me, it's a memory. I look back. I watch my own videos all the time. Like, that was hilarious. Even my girlfriend will look at me and say, "Are you really watching your own video right now?" I'm just like, "It's fun. 4 years ago. It was hilarious."
It's fun
like,
sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So, like, even I go back all the time. Even when I get together with Brent TV, the SpongeBob popsicle guy. We have so many vlogs that we did together, because I would go back and forth to Pittsburgh, and I would go and we would literally sit there and watch like the first 4 episodes of when we originally met for the very first time, and it's just so funny because we just
delivering them popsicles while you had COVID.
Right? Yeah. Oh my God, you just reminded me of that. Yeah, I literally so that was funny because I left Canada, and it was a crazy adventure because I was leaving for indefinitely was my plan. I'm like, I'm never coming back. I'm never coming back to Canada. I'm just going to stay there.
Actually, I think I messaged you and I said something. Let me know when you get back or something.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, I will. I just have no idea what the plan is, right? So I just remember that because I couldn't cross the land border. So what I had to do was I had to pay a tow truck driver to essentially ship the car across the border. And then I had to fly into Buffalo, which is literally an hour and 30 minutes from here. And I had to fly into Buffalo, which was I think 3 flights. It took me 8 hours.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So I had to fly into Buffalo, and by the time I got there, it was already nighttime, and my car was already there because the tow truck driver delivered it. Because they sort everything out beforehand. So you fill out like the bill of lading, and you have to write like a letter that says that the car is only for personal use, whatever. That's the reason why you're shipping it. Because a lot of snowbirds do it all the time when they go to Florida. So U.S. Customs obviously wants to see that. So the car was there. But before that, when I was at the airport that morning, Brent messages me and he's like, I got bad news. He's like, I got the vid. I'm like, what? Yeah, he's like, I tested positive, right? I'm like, damn it. So like the whole plan was I get to Buffalo, and then the next day I was going to drive straight to Pittsburgh, and we were going to hang out for like a week and a half. Like I had everything booked, right? So there wasn't really much else that I could do. So I ended up just driving there, and he was so bored one day. He's like, oh, I really need to film a video. Like at the time, he wasn't even really doing YouTube predominantly. He was doing TikTok for the most part. And then he's like, I really want to film some TikToks, but I can't leave the house. Can you go to the it's called Sheetz, which is like their giant gas station chain, which is like the best gas station chain in existence because it literally has everything. You can get food at like 4 o'clock in the morning. It's incredible.
Andrew's down.
Yeah, it's amazing.
This guy's up until 4 in the morning.
I am too sometimes.
Sending me memes 3:30 in the morning when I gotta wake up at 4. It's like, bro, really?
But yeah, and then
it was funny.
I showed up at his house and gave him his SpongeBob popsicles. Yeah, they literally have the kitchen is running 24 hours
That's
a day.
crazy.
You can get like full on sandwiches, like little pizzas and coffees and whatever you want.
It's not like Canada. Everything closes at 11.
No, and they don't lock the doors either.
I know.
You
Come
to the window, please.
Yeah, exactly.
The window.
Is that only us Canadians?
For the
Or is
most
it,
part,
like
yeah.
not even like
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's mostly like an Ontario thing, I think.
Yeah, you've been known. You travel out of all.
Yeah, I don't.
That's right.
I don't recall seeing any. I mean, mind you, when I was out in Alberta and BC, we were too drunk to drive by the time 9 p.m. rolled around. So we wouldn't really be out doing things and having to stop at gas stations. But
like what about like Pittsburgh? Have you? I don't know if you've done any of that late at night.
Oh yeah, the Sheetz is open 24 hours,
Shoot.
man. Yeah, there's most.
Crawling.
I've found that most gas
Selling
stations.
those 4 a.m. egg sandwiches.
Yeah, exactly, man. Dude, they have a mean carved turkey sandwich. You add some bacon and some cheese to that bitch, and let me tell you, it's at 4 o'clock in the morning after a good ghost hunt.
Yeah, your bathroom.
That it hits. It hits, right? So, yeah, man, it's always a good time over there. But yeah, most people don't realize that in Canada, because my audience is predominantly American. They don't realize that here, like in my area, they lock all the doors. You can't come in. You want a bag of chips? You got to ask the guy for a bag of chips through the window.
Yeah.
Is it this one?
Yeah, no. Yeah,
Oh my God,
And then he's gonna walk
They
back,
run-
and
that's
then come
right.
back to the window, and then he still has the wrong chips.
Yeah.
And then you're like, you know what? Forget the chips.
Just give me whatever you got here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, I'll just take it.
I'll just take just give me the damn Doritos. I don't care at this point.
Yeah,
right?
you're
But-
prepaying for gas through a window. They pull out the debit machine through the window.
Yeah.
You do it out there. There's a lineup of people behind you. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Ontario.
I mean, the only place that's is a little bit different now would be like California. I remember Detroit too. Going to Detroit was trippy because a lot of their places, so for example, their fast food restaurants in certain areas, because their crime levels were so high that they essentially didn't have any seating area and everything was behind bulletproof glass. So you would literally walk into this KFC, for example. Exactly. Yeah. And it was so weird. I'm like, what is going on? I just want some chicken. But yeah, it was wild, man. That was like one of the things that like really caught me off guard, because I had never really experienced that back in the. I mean, when I was younger, the only places I really ever went in the U.S. was like Florida one time, and then like Buffalo a few times. That was pretty much it. And then once I really started, doing a lot more urban exploring and haunted places, got to experience a lot more different things. So, yeah, bulletproof glass, man. That's in
Yeehaw.
fast food places. Oh, they didn't. That's not the yeehaw kind of places, right?
It is to them.
Yeah. Yeah, most places down there are usually open like 24 hours.
It's the modern day Wild West right there.
Yeah, pretty much. Detroit? Have you guys been to Detroit?
No, never.
No? You got any plans to go?
I would love to.
Yeah. Just be careful when you go down there.
That's the plan with the new beast outside. So,
Oh, yeah. I mean, for me, I found it relatively say I had no issues whatsoever. I don't know if you know who Urbex mom is.
To me, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I'm from Scarborough, so
Yeah, Scarborough's nothing compared to like some of the areas down there, man. You got to be very, very careful who you don't want to get caught in the wrong place.
I'm
at the
good with
wrong
everyone,
time.
you know.
Yeah,
I can chill with anyone. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure. But the question is, do they want to chill with you?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I got whatever they need.
But back to paranormal stuff. What other experience? So your only experience, Andrew, was the place that you. It was Muskoka.
Yeah.
Did you have other ones, Craig? That you
Not exploring, but
No?
like I've had the
Okay.
paranormal.
like
Yeah.
at home?
At my dad's house when we were a kid.
Ooh. Please share.
Oh boy, you might even, because he's my cousin.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I actually remember.
you know
that.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, see, I don't even. I'm talking, and he can tell you right now.
Yeah.
No, it was pretty weird. It was so it was his little brother and me. We were sitting
This
upstairs.
is his own experience, by the way, not mine.
Oh, okay. So you had one too then.
Yeah. So
Okay.
actually, he just reminded me, and
Yeah.
it just came all back. So yeah, so we were sitting in the living room watching TV, and you can literally see like a white figure, like a white gown figure, and walking down the hallway, and then you can see her sitting, and the rocket chair is just kind of like walking back and forth,
Good Lord.
Oh wow.
and it was just like, whoa, like you see it, but you
So
don't.
you all saw this
Okay,
the
I'll-
same thing?
It was in the same house, man.
Yeah. So I
Were
was
you guys
also
together,
there.
sitting together at the time?
No, that
Okay,
was
okay.
him probably just visiting his aunt
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
my dad and that, right? But so I'm there all the time because it's my dad's house. At nighttime, my dad used to tell me and my brothers, after 8 o'clock, you guys go upstairs and watch TV in the upstairs living room. And it's just like, okay, just whatever. My dad's never said nothing to us, nothing like that. I always seen things corner my eye down the hall and just brushing it off, whatever. One day my dad comes up and he's like, you guys see anything recently? I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, okay, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Next day, I'm upstairs sitting in the living room. The way his couch was set up, he had this long couch by the window. So you're not looking at the window, you're looking away from the window and you're looking down the hall. I don't know why he set up his living room like that, remember? And then the TV was against the wall. Anyways, I'm just sitting there and I hear the door creaking. You know, like the sound of a door creaking.
Yeah.
He lives in an older house. It's Scarborough, right?
Yeah.
And anyways, long story short, out of the corner of my eye, I see something go from one room to the other. I'm like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? I'm by myself upstairs watching the fucking Simpsons. I'm just tripping out now. You know, I'm 10-year-old Craig sitting there on the couch, like, what is happening right now? And next thing you know, she comes out of the room and she starts walking down the hall, and that's exactly what I saw.
Oh.
The lady all in white. And then when he told me about his story,
So
my-
it did.
and my dad comes
Wow.
up, and now
Yeah.
I told my dad about this, what I just saw. He's like, every day I come home from work, he works nights.
Mm-hmm.
He comes home about 5 a.m. He says she's sitting downstairs at the dining room table.
Whoa. Oh.
Wow.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
I never stayed a night over there ever again after that.
Never. Did you guys ever
Like,
like?
she walked into my room, right?
Yeah.
From my dad's room into my room. I'm just like, no, I'm good.
That's crazy.
10 years old, I saw that.
Shoot.
10
That's
years old.
crazy.
At 10 years old, you'd probably shit your pants.
I don't care what you people are going to think I'm crazy or whatever. Just do what you want, okay? I'm crazy, okay?
I think
cool.
most of the
That's
people watching
cool,
this
but-
channel probably agree with
But
you.
100%,
Yeah.
she was alive. And then what my dad told me about the house is apparently it used to belong to his wife at the time. It was her grandmother's house, and she passed away in that house. So it's her
Did you
just
like?
still chilling in the house, I guess. You
Wow.
know?
Were you able to confirm that it was her, or was it like
My
younger?
dad says it's her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like
he
if I
knows.
call my dad right now, he'll tell you guys about the ghost story.
Yeah.
Like that's how
That's crazy.
How real this story is.
Yeah,
I can call
yeah.
him right now if you want.
Yeah,
no,
I'm
yeah, he's
not-
probably
Wow.
at work actually.
I
But
understand.
honest.
so.
Yeah, that was
That's
the
pretty
creepiest
wild.
thing I've ever experienced with ghosts.
So you saw?
Especially at a young age.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
So you guys saw
And ever
her.
since then, I believe in that crap.
you
Oh,
saw
yeah.
her several times.
Several
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I would never
That's-
stay the night ever again.
Mhm.
Like, no, I'm going home.
What was like
Yeah.
one of the craziest things that would happen with this woman, or was it just her like usually just roaming around
It's just
the
her
house?
roaming the house.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Just endlessly
That's right.
roaming.
Yeah.
And
In
yeah,
that white dress.
Yeah.
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 Does he still live there?
No.
No?
He
Oh.
moved. And now he
Ups-
lives in Barrie or Aurora
okay.
area. up
I was
there.
gonna say you could always go back and document. Do you know the people who live there? Like
I
you
drive
met
by it
them?
all the time, and I'm like, whew, if these people knew, like, I wonder if they experience anything.
They
there,
probably do.
you know?
They probably think they're. I find a lot of people who are not like, you know, not like myself, where they're like, you know, have a heavy belief of paranormal activity existing, you know, angels and demons and that sort of thing, right? A lot of the times they don't want to explain because they think people are going to sound, they think that people are going to think they're crazy.
That's right. Yeah.
So I even remember with my friend Frank, he has like this demon who's been haunting him ever since he was a child.
Wow.
And he's got like tons of ghost stories, and I know they're real because I've had other people who would, like, you know, they came with me to his house and they saw the same thing without really knowing all the details of the story, right?
Yeah.
So and it's just like, originally, like when I started my first channel, I wanted to do like an interview style video with him because I didn't really know what the hell I was doing back then, but I just kind of wanted to talk about the story. And he's like, oh, I don't know if I should do it because people are going to think I'm crazy, right? I'm like, why would people think you're crazy, right? I mean, those people are probably crazy for not believing it. That's right. But I don't know. I mean, who cares who thinks you're crazy? Just tell the story, right?
That's why I don't tell too much people about my UFO story and stuff like that.
Okay.
Man.
Now you got to go into detail about that one. But
Remember I told you about this? I even tried to capture it on my girlfriend's camera on her phone, but this is maybe about 5 years ago. We were at my mother-in-law's. I guess you call her my mother-in-law. It's her mom's house. And we were just hanging out in the backyard. I was out in the backyard, just having a smoke.
Yeah.
And
the other smoke, the special smoke.
I noticed I'm just hanging out there, and you can see up in the corner of the eye, the sun's over here because it's about 5 p.m. I'm in Pickering. The lake is that way. And right above the lake, I just see this giant bright light, kind of like your dome light that you guys got, like that shape.
So
right?
it's
just
significant.
super bright, but it was just one light.
Yeah.
And at first I'm thinking, oh, it's just some club, just some club. But I'm like, wait, I'm in Pickering.
Yeah. What club? There's nothing out that way.
Right beside the lake, because we're right by the 401 right there where she lives. I'm like, there's nothing down there but the beach.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on right down. There's not Canada Day or any special event.
Was it like summertime or wintertime?
It was summertime.
Summertime, yeah.
I would probably say August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people generally wouldn't party at 5 anyways,
That's
right?
what I
That
mean.
just doesn't make any sense because people are still coming home from work. They might get there by
So
like
that's
7.
why I thought it was up.
Yeah.
Autumn.
Well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Oh,
So, not here though.
yeah. So anyway, so I called my girlfriend over and I'm like, come take a look at this. Like, what the hell is this? And she's like, oh, it's probably just nothing. It's probably an airplane. I'm like, that is no airplane.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, the thing splits into 3.
Oh.
Hey, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Swear to God.
You've heard of that from
Yeah, I know.
like just
I
online
just
sources,
see
huh?
it. Yeah.
That's
3
crazy.
bright lights. It looked like a perfect triangle.
Oh,
And she's
what
like,
are those?
get my phone.
Yeah.
Get my phone right now.
Yeah.
I tripped running in the house trying to grab her phone, but it was like the older iPhones from back
Yeah.
in the day. She didn't have one of the newer ones. Trying to zoom on this thing, even to get a glimpse of it, it wouldn't come up because it's like blending with the clouds on her camera.
So it just wouldn't show up at all.
Wouldn't show up. I tried just taking pictures of it, wouldn't show up. I'm like, no one's gonna believe this.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna think I'm effing crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like people are gonna think I'm crazy. And she's like, no, I saw it with you. I saw it with you. What happens next though when we're watching these things? They start turning, and then they all
Just really quick. All did they all like all 3
Same time.
lights move together?
same time.
Right.
Yeah. Wildest UFO crap I've seen.
That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard
pretty
stuff like
insane,
that too with the weird 3 light
lights.
type.
It started as one though.
Yeah.
It started as one, and it was so bright. That's what made me notice. It's the middle of the day. You know,
I wonder if it's like the Russians or something. I don't know.
maybe nowadays. Not, maybe it was a weather balloon.
Maybe it was a weather balloon. We don't know. Call the Americans. We
Oh,
need it
boy.
shot down because we can't do it on our own because Canada sucks. But, well, man, that's wild. But yeah, I mean, I've heard lots of stuff like that. I still go back to watching the recent documentary. I think it was called Moment of Contact. I brought it up a couple times on here. Really good. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend. You can rent it, I think, on YouTube or whatever. And it tells like the story from beginning to end of like probably one of the most well documented UFO sightings and even extraterrestrial sightings, because it was like this thing crashed in the middle of a field and somebody saw that, like multiple people saw that. One person was literally driving through as it happened. There was another military officer who carried a being and then later died. And then there was 3 little girls who saw this creature, and they were like freaked out and whatever, and they thought the same thing. People were going to think they were fucking crazy,
Yeah,
right?
that's right?
So
Well, most people do.
Yeah.
They think you're crazy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Everyone thinks I'm crazy anyway, so I'm open to talk about it.
yeah, it's whatever. I mean,
is
I'd
what it
rather
is.
come
I'd rather
up-
be crazy. I'm
Yeah,
just
exactly.
brutally honest, and
Yeah.
I'm just telling you what I've seen. If you want to
Yeah.
think I'm crazy, you go for it.
I can tell
All
you
the best to
being
you.
looking like you're crazy is definitely much less boring.
Well, that's true.
It adds to your personality. I
got a
guess, right?
wicked life now.
Yeah, man. I saw a UFO. I believe.
UFOs?
I thought there was one
What
time.
weed was they smoking that day?
This is from BC.
It was good stuff.
Apparently, BC's got really good weed. I don't really smoke weed, but my
Andrew would
friends
know.
all
Andrew
smoked
would be
it.
able to tell you all about that subject
Yeah.
right there.
Oh, yeah? No,
This
like
is
the
the weed
BC
man over
weed?
here.
BC and Colorado, the way to go.
Right.
This guy doesn't even. We're in Ontario.
Yeah.
This stuff is legal. It's on every corner. This guy orders it online, mail orders from this
Comes
place,
right to
that
my door.
place.
I don't
have to
Canada.
leave my
I'm like,
house.
really, man?
You like
Oh, yeah.
you like the artisan stuff, basically,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, like the very very potent stuff, or
Oh, yeah.
yeah, the strong.
In the couch, you know what I'm saying?
That's what they're like 35 to 40%.
Until he sends me 5 different strains at 4 a.m, asks me which one's better. I'm like, bro,
You gotta try them all.
it's all just weed, man. Just buy one. I'm going back to bed.
It was hilarious because on my recent trip, like I said, I don't smoke weed. I smoke cigars and basically drink wine and beer, right? Because I'm just an alcoholic in the evening time.
Well, I don't drink, so
Yeah,
that's where the smoking
right.
part comes in.
Exactly.
right?
You gotta make it up.
That's right.
Make up for it somehow,
yeah.
right? But when we were driving through BC, my friends were like super hyped up because they were like, "Oh, we gotta try that BC weed." And we
Yeah,
were
the BC
Dude,
boy.
and it was so funny because Mike was like, "Man, we're stopping like every hour. We had like an 10.5 hour drive from Calgary to Vancouver, and we were stopping like every hour and a half to 2 hours at like all the different dispensaries because all my friends, except for me and Mike, we were the only 2 that didn't really smoke weed, and I was going to, and then I just decided, I'm like, whatever, just pass me a bottle of wine, I'm happy, right? Or some XO cognac. But yeah, they were like every 2 seconds, and they were like, "Yeah, this is good shit, man."
Yeah, BC's got the good shit, guys.
Like dude, we were just like driving along out, like we would stop at the dispensary, and then there were pre-rolls.
Wait, we can't get in the car yet. I gotta roll this and we gotta go smoke.
No, they were just buying pre-rolls because there was no way Mike was going to give them the time to
roll
sit there and
one,
roll up, right? So Anthony and Mike's wife, I hope Kat doesn't mind me sharing the stories, but like
It's too late, cat.
it's too late, Kat.
Here's your first name.
But she would smoke an entire, and she was like, she could smoke like basically just as much as probably you. You'd be fucking surprised how much weed this girl can smoke. So she would smoke up right before hitting the road, and then like 30 minutes later, we're just driving through the mountains.
She's like, "This is beautiful."
Yeah, she's like,
Have you guys seen this before?
I'm so fucking high right now.
I think there's higher percentage in this stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think there was like 38%, just like from dispensaries in the middle of nowhere. So who knows what the hell she was smoking, right? And they have like the weirdest names too. I
That was
can't
the
even remember.
legit bush weed.
Basically, 100%. But yeah, I don't know. I used to smoke weed when I was younger, like back in high school, and then I used to get like weird anxiety when I would smoke it. I know it happens to some people.
Some people, yeah.
Yeah, like I used to get like weird. I used to trip out, and then there was a couple times where I greened out, and I was like, "No, thank you." Right. So I remember
Makes
one
you
time.
turned off from it. That's
Oh,
right.
100%. Yeah. I remember
Everyone
one.
has their own poison.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
What's
For-
yours?
Poison?
Yeah.
Video games?
There's your man right there too. Okay.
Like, I wish I could play as much as possible, but it doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, kids come and play.
That's
That's your play now. Welcome to my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Life is over.
round 1.
Wait till you get to the 5th one. That's
right.
Yeah. You think it's bad now?
Hats off to you, man. One's hard enough.
Oh my
Jeez.
God. I can imagine. I mean, no children yet, as far as I know. I mean, you never really know. But,
Yeah, that's life.
yeah, exactly. So,
They'll find you one day. If
100%. So back to, I guess, urban exploring. Do you guys have any other crazy UFO? Was it just a one-time UFO
me,
thing?
yeah, seeing that.
Never seen anything?
No.
No. That
he just looked at me like, I don't know if I believe this. Or not.
I really want to see something, right? So I really want. There was one time I thought it was something, but I'm pretty sure it was just a weirdly flickering star that probably burnt out, like 10,000 years ago, and they kind of like do that weird glimmering thing when they're exploding or whatever. So we thought it was a UFO, but it was probably nothing. Or maybe
I've seen
it
that
was
like
something.
frozen plane effect before, like driving on the highway.
Yeah.
Going up the top of the highway mountain there in Hamilton there.
Yeah.
Right on top of the mountain as you make that turn. There's an airport, I guess, up there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And I guess that maybe the way I was turning at the same
Maybe.
time and the speed, it looked like the plane was just
It's
freaking
floating in the
sitting
air.
there. I'm like,
Mm.
Yeah.
You know?
I find
Cool
sometimes when you're like watching planes kind of like take off and they're not like at full, speed
That's what we did
yet.
before we came here too.
Oh yeah, you mentioned you
Yeah.
guys were messing around.
I was like, I'll be there in a bit. I'm stuck at the airport.
Yeah. Oh, so that's what you guys were doing. That's cool. Airports are pretty sick anyways. But I mean at the airport, airplanes.
Yeah, the
are sick.
airplanes. Yeah.
I can fly.
I
an
only stop there
airplane.
because I see Ethan Minnie all the time. He posts on his stories these days.
Oh, okay.
I text him after. I'm like, I see why you come here.
Right.
Right.
I'm like, bro,
it's
you
just
should.
It is
so
nice.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I got to bring my kids here to see this. This is cool.
So
Yeah.
you guys like stop right at the
Right there.
fence line,
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, it's exciting and
Yeah.
it's something
People
that
are
I've never
long
even been
termers,
that
you know?
close to. A plane like
Definitely.
That.
It's
And then,
it's an
like, hearing all
afternoon.
that,
It's an
Right.
afternoon. Yeah.
They go, they hit up Zets down the road,
Oh,
and then they
yeah.
come back.
Yeah, to come
and
back,
they-
sit in their lawn chairs,
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a cheeseburger.
Looking around, watching for cops, reaching for a beer behind the seat, drinking it and then putting it back, right?
Hey, if there was a park nearby, it'd be legal, right?
I
You
guess.
could drink in parks now,
I
apparently.
guess. Only in Toronto, no?
Oh, that's right. That's
I think that's only a
Mississauga,
Toronto
right?
thing. I don't know. I have no idea what the
Yeah.
rules are for different cities, but yeah, I mean, public drinking could be. I mean, people are going to drink
I was
anyways.
going to say, legal or
right?
not, people are still going to be out there drinking.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to name the person, but there was a few people that I've gone exploring with, and we would go on like 3-day Urbex binges, and he was not only binging Urbex, but also binging on beer the entire time, right? So they just extensively drink, and then they get home and it's like they no longer an alcoholic for like a week, and then they go back to exploring more, and they're just, but they only do it when they're exploring. And he's it's funny too, because he always like never wants to be the person driving, right? Of course.
Because
I
he's
wonder
drinking.
why.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
wants
because
to
he wants
drink.
to wants to
right.
get wasted, which I don't mind. Whatever, it's all good. But yeah, so back to Urbex. What is your craziest Urbex or exploring adventure to date?
Those we can't talk about.
Hey.
The one you can't talk about?
We can't talk about those.
Oh, okay. What's the one you can talk
I
about?
don't even know.
Can't think of one?
I don't know.
I mean, it's
The closest one actually was probably that one time when we were with you.
Oh
With
yeah.
the Marble Mansion.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah,
that
that was
was
hilarious.
crazy.
With
I never
with
experienced that before.
the Karen lady.
Yeah, the Karen
Yeah,
lady.
the Karen
So
lady.
I think I might have mentioned the story, but we'll talk about it again. So basically, we had met somehow. I don't even remember who. I think we just messaged each other on Instagram. I don't remember who messaged
Yeah.
who. And basically, we're like, oh yeah, let's go do make some videos together,
Yeah, we
whatever.
went to that church first, remember?
Right.
Yeah.
It's probably
Yeah, that's
still
where
around.
window
the
was too
church is still
small.
there.
Yeah, it's probably just it's for some reason never.
I can get in the
accessible.
window, but none of you guys could. So.
Hey, I've lost weight since then. Okay? I can give me like 2 months. I'll fit through that damn window.
We're going back.
Yeah, we're going back.
Ghost stuff.
Exactly. That church is creepy, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think that would be maybe cool to check out. There's another place that I was probably going to do soon. It's the abandoned the Pokemon Theater.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, apparently it's accessible. So
I've seen.
yeah,
I
you've
can
seen.
tell.
Yeah.
Pokemon theater, you say?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
so
it's
they called it the Pokemon Theater because there was a bunch of gigantic Pokemon stuffed animals like all over the place. So they
Yeah.
just dubbed it the Pokemon Theater. Some sort of, Urbex clickbait, obviously.
Okay, that's right.
Every other mansion is an abandoned Illuminati mansion
Right,
or a
right.
mafia boss's mansion or whatever people come up with or relate it to, right? So,
Gotta
but
clickbait it or no one's gonna watch.
Yeah.
yeah,
Sure,
exactly.
right,
sure.
Right?
We win $1 million in this video. Well, it's $1 million Monopoly dollars. I still won.
I won it
Yeah,
by
exactly.
buying it.
I found, the amount of times people have clickbaited like random mansions as like random celebrity mansions or whatever. And it's,
I even have
Like
one on
Mr.
my
Miyagi's
channel.
mansion,
What are you
Mr.
talking
Miyagi's
about?
house.
What are you talking about?
yeah, I never filmed that
Did I get
one.
you on that one?
You saw that
I
one?
clicked it immediately. What do you mean?
That's what I mean. So many people get so angry. Like even if you guys read the comments on that one, it's like chill. Like it's in the description. It's clearly in the description.
That's
So,
actually
like,
the first place I went. I went to check through
don't
the
rip me
description,
apart
yeah.
here because I stated that like it's not from that.
Right.
It's just the vibe you get. It's what
Yeah,
other
exactly.
explorers
Yeah,
have
man.
called it, and when I showed up, I'm like, I totally get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
It looks
right?
like it, absolutely,
Especially that
yeah.
one spot. It's just like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because I remember getting the some type of similar response when I did the Linwood Hall, which is the Titanic owner's mansion.
Beautiful
That's what
place.
everyone
Beautiful
calls
place.
it, right?
Yeah.
Because the owner legitimately had a relationship to the Titanic. He was a shareholder of White Star Line, I
Yeah.
believe, which means that you're essentially the owner of the Titanic, whether you own 1% or 10%, right? Like I own a few shares of Tesla, so technically I'm an owner of Tesla. I can legitimately call myself that,
I'm leaving.
right? You're
You're not a fan of Tesla.
I got a gas powered vehicle, okay? I don't need to park for 45 minutes
Yeah.
and then go for a cruise. No, I can drive to the middle of nowhere and not worry about my car being stuck in the middle of somewhere, okay? You guys have fun with your electric vehicles, but
I don't
not for
own
me,
an electric
man.
vehicle. I just own shares in the company.
Doesn't matter. You got a taste for it.
But yeah, just
You'll have
whatever.
one next year. You guys watch.
But yeah, people like legitimately get so irritated, like irked from titles like that. It's like, who the hell cares, man? It's just a stupid, title. Like,
Yeah.
whatever.
That's right. Go on with your day. Like,
Yeah.
it really bothers you that much?
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
And then you get the comments that are like, oh, well, this is clickbait, blah, blah, blah. You're just trying to get views. And I'm like, well, isn't that like the whole point of YouTube? To get views,
Yeah.
Right? It's a
right?
battle, right?
Yeah, like for one, this is not, some side hobby. This is literally how I pay my bills. I get no views, I pay no bills.
That's right.
Right? I got to go back to work, right? So
You got to come live my life.
Yeah. No, thank you. Not that
Up
there's
4 in the
anything wrong with
morning
it.
just to
but
go mix some concrete.
fuck that,
Have some fun, bud.
bro. I'm sometimes up till 4 or 5 in the morning.
I drive heavy equipment, so
Yeah.
I
I
don't work hard.
I
just
could have
chill
done
all
it.
I don't work hard.
day, you know?
So if you
You
could
see this
make,
chair here? Like this isn't. I could use this. This back thing right here. It'd be great.
if you
Oh,
could
yeah.
make all your money doing YouTube, would you do it instead of
I think I would, but I'm 100% self-taught. Like, I have never been to film school. I've never held a real camera in my hands. I film with my phone. I don't know if you can tell in the videos or whatnot, but everything.
Yeah, phones are pretty good these days, right?
Yeah, Ethan does everything on his phone.
Yeah. Well, now
everything.
he does.
I heard.
Originally,
Oh, did he not? Okay.
No, originally he didn't. Originally he used to use an actual camera, but I think the reason why he started using his phone was just because it's easier to handle. But I
But
feel
he
like
also edits from his phone. He does every
no
now.
way. He edits from
he
his
said that
phone.
on our video.
But remember, Ethan's content, the way it's done is it's usually like
one shot
That's
kind
right.
of thing.
Sure.
Right. So
Absolutely.
it's not where you're constantly, because let me tell you, when you have a lot of splits and
of
cuts
course, good
and,
Lord.
a lot of work,
and you're a potty mouth like me, and your
And
every
me.
second word
Yeah.
is fuck or shit, you gotta
tried to cut
cut that
back.
out.
I've
right?
tried to cut back
I
on
do
that.
too, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't
Yeah.
work,
Yeah, that's
right?
right.
So, and I get people like, that because just out of habit, you take the Lord's name in vain, and people really don't like that, and I get it. So they're like, can you stop saying that? Can you say Cheez-Its? And it's like, I'm so, dude, I'm like, first of all, that just sounds really ridiculous, but like things like that, like out of habit, like how the hell are you going to change a bad habit like that?
That's
I mean,
right.
I know you can, but after 32 years, really, like,
I even said to Andrew, like, I do accents all the time, and it's just, I guess, because I live in the most multicultural city in the world.
Exactly.
I'm not because I'm a racist. Or
no, you
anything.
hear it all the time.
My whole family is all mixed. Like, come on, like, I'm not a racist person, and I even said to Andrew, like, I gotta make sure I don't do any accents at all. He's like, good luck, bro. Good luck. And I think maybe that might be why my videos are so cut up, because it's just me doing something stupid, right? Like, I don't mean to do it. I'm just being Craig. I'm just a happy guy,
Just having a
That's right. Having a jolly old good day,
Exactly.
lad. Bloody hell.
yourself, right?
yeah, exactly.
That's how YouTubers grow their biggest audience. It's just being themselves, right? People love the person that they're watching, and then they just watch everything that you make.
Well, that's what I told him when we first started. That was the one thing I told him. He's like, bro, I don't know what to do. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, just be you. Like, we're just walking through an abandoned place. What do you mean? What do you have to do? He's like, I'm gonna act or something. I'm like, act? Am I paying you or something?
there's no script, bro. There's no
Come on,
script.
man.
You just go, right?
right.
You just grab the camera and you just do it.
That's
right?
like him. He fell in love with it when we were just driving by one day, and I think he wanted to just stop to smoke one. So we pulled into the GO station, and we look over, and there's an abandoned car dealership. And I'm like, oh, bro, you want to go in there? Let's just go check it out. We ended up walking inside, and it's an abandoned movie set.
Oh, that's so cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
And he's like, bro, I'm going to film this.
Nice.
And I'm like, film it for what? He's like, people got it on YouTube. I'm like, let's do a YouTube channel.
Nice. That's how it
So
started.
Right? And that's
So
pretty
it
much how it
was-
started.
It was Andrew's idea to start the channel. Then,
In that
start
way,
filming.
yeah, because he picked up his phone and just started shooting. You can even probably tell in the video the way he's walking around, like not a clue what to do, right?
Yeah,
Not know
yeah.
what to point at.
I mean, when it comes to like exploring abandoned places, it is kind of weird to figure out like what
Where
to
to start.
film.
That's right,
Like,
yeah.
what do people really want to see?
what's their
right?
attention going to stay on?
Exactly.
Nowadays with TikTok and everything,
Yeah.
everyone's all 2 seconds.
Yeah,
Now
exactly.
next.
And then now the whole urban exploring thing is kind of on there too, right? Where this house built in the 1980s now sits abandoned for 15 years.
Yep.
The walls are bad. Do not walk here, right? You may fall through a floor. And that's pretty much like every TikTok urbex
Yeah.
video, because you only have a minute to
That's
explain
right.
what the hell's going on, right? So I
That's why
remember
for me, I just throw up a bunch of little clips with some music, and hey,
Yeah.
if you want to watch
Yeah.
it, go find it on our YouTube channel.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's how I used to do it. I used to actually purposely film with my phone separate clips after I would finish filming the YouTube video. And then after a while, I'm like, why am I doing this? Every video of mine has its own trailer that's like 40 seconds to a minute.
Yeah.
So I just started literally rendering out, like changing the settings in my editor, and then just rendering out a teaser, and then just throw it up as either a TikTok. I don't really waste time with TikTok too much. I know a lot of people have had really good
Kind of
success
like what
with
I
it.
did with the haunted bridge video. I think that's the only video I did like a little teaser on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Actually, we're the only ones on Haunted Ontario's or whatever, the Haunted Walks website.
oh, really?
Yeah, they show mine in your video at the very bottom. We're the only links
Which
That's cool.
bridge? The,
for the
Old Finch Bridge?
The Old Finch Bridge.
Right.
Yeah. It's just our videos.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow, no way.
Was that before we met?
I think it could've been after.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That
But
place
you
was...
filmed yours on your own, and we filmed ours on our own. But
Yeah,
it's
I
just so
filmed-
ironic that both of ours are right there, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there are not too many people at the time really, for some odd reason, ever bothered to film it.
That's right.
So and
Yeah.
back then, I had absolutely no idea what the hell I
I
was
only
doing.
went because his friend Mikey, who you guys might see on
Kinda
some of
brought
our
it up,
videos,
right?
he's like, please do Haunted. And for me, like, it was just urban exploring. It was just something to do, get out of the house, away from the kids, you know,
Yeah.
just a little free time. And no, you need to go and check out some haunted stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, let's try it. And yeah,
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's fun, yeah.
It's cool shit.
It's a little bit of like a different vibe from just doing the exploring abandoned places thing, right? Because there's more stories to incorporate.
That's right. And you're going when it's dark.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Where most urban exploring is done during the day, right?
like
Every
2 hours at
abandoned
night.
place, you ask anybody, you go to any abandoned place, and the vibe changes as soon as the sun goes down.
100%. Yeah. So there's been so many times where I've gone to a place during the day and it's like nothing. It's cool, but there's like, I don't feel anything.
That's
I'm not
right.
picking up on anything. And then all of a sudden you go at night and it's like, fucking doors
you're
are
like,
slamming. And
I ain't going down there by myself.
I used to originally.
Moshi, you go first.
So
I didn't even want to be a part of this video.
Did someone say there was Pokemon here?
but yeah,
Gotta catch them all.
originally I would always go with other people, right? So, and I would never really go alone. Now I'm getting kind of used to going alone because I had hired a cameraman and then he quit recently. So I'm just like, whatever, I'll just go alone. Can't be that bad. Sometimes it's fine. Some other times
It's a little sketchy.
It's a little not so fine, right? So
Especially because you do live close to Toronto, you know.
yeah, and that's the other. I had another question for you guys was exploring in Toronto. Like, do you guys? Have you ever encountered something like super like dangerous people? Because I mean, sometimes you run into crazy squatters.
A lot of the crackheads are mostly, or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. And they I tell people like
I'm guessing because we interrupted them, we startled them, right? So you in your, I guess in their eyes, you got to put yourself in their position where they're freaked out all of a sudden. They were in there all alone, minding their business, and here comes this group of people with a bunch of lights and cameras stuffing it in their face. Of course, they're gonna friggin' react to you. You know what I mean? They're gonna come at you.
Yeah.
Like that's what most people need to understand, though. But a lot
So
of
did
people
you
are like,
have
this fucking guy? Yeah, at
You
this
had an
one
experience?
place. Yeah, remember that guy? What was it? I think it was a school. It was an old school.
Yeah,
Remember, we were with Ghostbuster Girls, I think it was, or whatever they were called. There's some
man.
explorers from Hamilton, and they were taking us around to a bunch of places, and we went to this really sketchy place, and that was what was in the basement. And Buddy's walking around right up to us with a knife in his hand, like,
Oh man.
staring at everybody. And even these guys, he's a big guy, and he's even like, bro, like, what's gonna happen right now? I'm just let the guy do his thing. He's gonna walk away, and that's what he did. He's just keeping his eye on everybody with his knife, right? Because you freaked him out.
Yeah.
You came into his space, right?
I remember having a similar experience. This was with Mo and Rennie. It was something like 2 years ago or something like that. We filmed the whole experience.
I did too, but my footage all got corrupted. I had
that sucks.
amazing video Sandra Manor, some amazing sketchy noises,
Yeah.
haunted
I remember all
stuff,
that.
upstairs, third floor. Oh, that's where you were talking about the 666 story.
Yeah.
That was Century Manor, not Muskoka.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
Wait, are you sure?
Yeah. That video was
I got
when we were first starting. That's what that was. That's why you were talking about the 666 in that room.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But that video got corrupted, and I tried everything. I even brought it over to someone to try to pull it off the hard drive and everything, whatever they could do. And it was gone.
Sometimes it's unsalvageable. I've had that
I was
happen.
like, no,
before,
why
too.
did I take it off of that and that? Right? Because I usually have it on 2 different devices, and for some reason I took it off the one and just put it on the other one, and of course it got corrupted. Right?
Yeah. Losing footage is the worst.
Oh
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible. I remember it happening mid-video once, and I don't know how the hell it happened. It was just really strange. We were in London Asylum, the infirmary building.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it was Mo and I. It was very late at night, and we were in the midst of recording that video, and something I normally never do. I had 2 videos that I had not transferred the footage off of from, I think, the previous night or something, and there was these 2 really cool locations. They were just great videos overall. And so we're in the middle of filming this video. I think we're on like the 2nd floor or something. And just the vibe just switched. It just got really, really bad. Like we could feel something.
Yeah, you could feel the energy
very
change.
bad energy
Yeah.
change. And Mo's just like, I feel like something really bad is going to happen. And then boop, just like that, the memory card stopped working. The camera was showing like some error type of thing, and then I couldn't like get anything off of that card. I was so pissed because I had to go back to the other 2 locations, refilm it, and I had lost half of this video too. I was able to kind of salvage like the video itself by, you know, talking about it, and then obviously incorporating some of Mo's footage to show what had happened up until that point. But yeah, it was kind of poopy. You never like when footage decides to go bye-bye for no reason whatsoever.
Especially when you
right?
spend the time to travel to places.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you think
Yeah.
oh, that was wicked.
Yeah.
Right? Like, great job, guys. And you have it all edited too, and you go to click render, and that's when everything goes.
Yeah.
Remember when we were in Japan? I was recording every second of it.
Oh yeah.
I lost at least a week of the trip.
Was that your wedding you went to there?
No,
No.
our buddy
Oh,
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
good times.
That's how long I've followed Angelo.
Nice.
Yeah. So when we first met, like I said, no idea who the hell messaged who on Instagram, but
Yeah.
somehow we talked and we're like, yeah, let's go film a video together. And it was just super funny. So I remember I had a rental car and I had a white Dodge Charger, and it sucked. I hated that car. It was a V6 Dodge Charger, no balls, heavy, couldn't handle, worth shit. And so we met up in Toronto, and we decided to go to first the Staircase Mansion.
Yep, the Titanic.
The Titanic Staircase Mansion. That was pretty
Titanic
cool.
one. Yeah, that was a nice one.
Yeah, we had a good time doing that place.
Yeah,
Then
we celebrated after filming that place.
we
And then we
celebrated.
walked outside to the lady.
Right. But
There was a lady there.
so it was weird. So there was a car so we were outside, like getting the outside
yeah.
shots,
I
and then all of a
remember
sudden there
She's
was a
sitting
car
right out front.
Yeah, and we didn't
right.
we noticed her, but we
Yeah.
didn't really say anything.
The real estate agent.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then we get
Yeah, you heard the story.
we get back into the Dodge Charger and we go up to another house, which was the Marble Mansion, which is being restored.
Actually, see, that's a video. Even that, like,
Yeah.
I have a lot of places. Like, we go exploring. I just don't upload the video.
you
know?
should though. You should.
That's what everyone says to me.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you upload it?
Yeah.
Like, I have a stack of videos at home. I just even he says, bro,
So
when
basically,
you gonna upload that? Like, come on.
so essentially, you're basically Carlo. He's got like probably
Maybe that's
five-
why we get along so well. Carl and I. Yeah, maybe.
So Carlo is the type of guy where he will nonstop film, and he films anything.
That's right. Yeah.
And he probably has like multiple hard drives worth like with years worth of footage. Like he could edit and upload like probably twice a day for 2 years straight and not have an issue with the amount of footage that he has. And he just doesn't upload that.
And that's not
fast.
only just exploring with him. Like, he does car videos and food vlogs, and
Yeah. So
he's a cool guy too.
Yeah. So basically, we ended up at the Marble Mansion with the white Dodge Charger, and I think you said you had done security at some point. So you went back
Well,
to
I
your
work
van.
for a company that had security.
Yeah.
And the only vest they can give me that day, they said legally they couldn't give me a vest because I work
I
construction.
think it was like a banner that they gave
Yeah, it was
you,
a
right?
banner on the back. It said security. And he's like, can you find some way to take that off? So I was like, yeah, it's a construction site. Like, I'll go get my knife and I'll just cut it off, right? So that's what I did. And the guy didn't ask for it back. So I was doing urban exploring then. So it's like, let's keep this.
Yeah.
Let's fucking keep it. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we did. We kept it. And then he saw it. I think it was in the car. He's like, what's that for? Like, one of you guys security guard? And I was like, no, why? He goes, let's put it in the car.
Yeah. I mean, it made sense. We had a white Dodge Charger, so put security
I was like, yeah,
on the
that's
car.
true. It looks like a cop car.
Exactly.
Why not? Yeah,
Right? Who
right.
the hell's
Nobody's
gonna
going to say anything. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we got there. We're literally grabbing all of our stuff, getting ready. We're parked at the end of the driveway, which is probably mistake number one.
That's true.
Which we shouldn't have
But we
done.
were security.
Exactly. So we got cocky, right? So we got a little
That's what it
cocky,
was,
and then we made a big noob mistake.
That was
and,
newbie days.
and
That's right.
we shouldn't have done that.
Now you see
Right,
me
you live
parked
and learn, right?
4 miles away,
Yeah,
driving him
exactly.
through the
Exactly.
bush. You know,
Yeah.
he's sweating. Are we there yet?
Yeah. So I mean,
And we show up and there's a street out front. He's like, we couldn't have parked right there.
there's gonna come a time when your kids are older, and or your grandkids, and you're gonna be telling the day, talking about the days when you guys used to urban explore, and you're gonna be like, yes, I used to walk 4 miles uphill both ways to get to this abandoned building, and then we finally get there.
bastard Craig used to make me go up huge hills.
But yeah, so we show up at this house, and this we're getting all our stuff ready, and all of a sudden this lady in this black BMW pulls up. She had a really thick accent, so it was kind of hard to understand
Yeah.
what she was saying at first. But then she starts asking us like, hey, hey, what are you guys doing here? And me, I just turned to her. I'm like, oh, I'm looking to buy the house. I'm an interested buyer.
Yeah, it was so
right?
funny.
And
like,
then
what?
Yeah, she was very. I caught her completely off guard.
Check this out. Okay. Yeah. Are you the real estate agent? Like, he's going for this. He's really going for this.
I was
Boys,
committed.
get in the car. I'm like, no, he's not. Let's go.
Literally, that's exactly what I did. We're like putting our stuff back. I'm like, guys, everybody just throw your stuff back in the trunk and let's just get the hell out of here. As I'm literally turning to this lady, I'm like, you're the real estate agent? I'll call you. I'll call you. And at this point, she's all confused, right? Because she's like, okay, is this person actually looking to buy this $14 million property, right?
This young bunch of like 20-year-old looking people. Like, what's going on here? Why do they have a camera?
It's so confusing. But yeah, then we ended up leaving. And
that place was beautiful, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. That place was really cool.
So I went there twice, actually. So remember the first time we went there, we went in one of the rooms. And there was clothes and shit all in there, hanging in the closet. Oh, so it was like a squatter was hiding in there. And even he said, he goes, bro, I swear I heard something downstairs. I'm like, no, man.
Yeah, there was a squatter in there for the longest time.
There was, right?
Yeah.
See, there was. Because then we went back after that because he got freaked out because he's hearing people downstairs. He just wanted to leave. So I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's just leave.
Yeah.
And then we went back, I think it was like a month later. And all that clothes was gone.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I was like, what? No way.
When I went, because I went
Beautiful
by myself after we made our attempt, which then I got smart because I would park at the school up the street and then just walk.
That's what we did too.
Yeah. So which was what we should have done. But this lady was already watching us from the very first place anyways, right? I don't know who the hell knows who this woman was, right? Because she was lying about being the real estate agent. I was lying about buying the property. I mean, I probably couldn't rub two pennies together at the time. So I wasn't going to be buying no $14 million mansion, right? But I mean,
nobody knows.
Yeah, exactly. But in reality, like, I mean, when I went in there was 100% somebody was hiding in the house. Like I'm hearing all these weird noises, like things moving around and stuff. And I do remember there was one spot where like there was a tree or something that was kind of like smacking the window. Right? Yeah. So that would trip you out. But then there was also some other weird noises going on.
And that place was huge. Yeah. That was, I think, one of the biggest mansions that I've ever explored to this day.
That put it along,
yeah. At least in the GTA area, right? Like that place was like, where am I going next?
Yeah, exactly.
If someone did walk in, you wouldn't even know how to get out, right? It was that big. Yeah.
So, and it was all one floor too. It was just
giant flat.
Yeah, exactly.
So it always
everything was marble.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Everything's marble.
Beautiful.
So cool.
Oh, if I had,
even the waterfall.
I just got a new phone. If I had my own phone, I could have showed you. I had some photos on my old phone.
Yeah,
really pretty.
I literally just got a new phone.
It was very clean too, like sterile clean, like a hospital.
It was like hospital.
For a long time too. And then
you
finally,
swear a cleaner was coming by.
Yeah, exactly.
It's weird.
But no, you go outside, the lawn was long.
And there was kind of a crazy story behind it too, because it was owned originally by a lawyer, if I'm not mistaken. You remember the story, right? There was a lawyer who was essentially involved with a scammer, and this scammer was going around basically cheating people out of their life savings, getting all these people's money, and the lawyer was helping him. At first, she didn't know what was going on, according to what she said. But then all of a sudden, later on, once she did find out what was going on, she was afraid to go against these people because they were like...
That's right, she was in hiding.
Yeah, they were pretty dangerous.
That's what some people were saying the squatter might have been.
Yeah. So she ended up leaving, and then I think when the story was that she ended up in Cyprus. So she just this whole house, that's the reason why the whole house was empty. So I don't know. I don't know if that was the actual story or not, but I think it was.
Yeah, that's the story I heard.
Yeah. As far as if you look up articles and stuff, but now somebody bought the property for even more.
Did you release your video when you went there?
Oh yeah, I've done. I think I've done 3.
He's like,
videos. Yeah, I've done like 3 videos there. One time on my own, and then I think the other 2 times were both with Ethan, because he was like in love with that place. Yeah, like that was he would like walk into this house like he owned it or something. Right? And at one point in time, after a while,
Ethan loves his mansions.
Oh yeah,
we all know
absolutely.
that. Yeah. He's the mansion king here around the GTA.
Exactly. He finds all the.
You can't screw with Ethan.
No, absolutely not.
No. We love you, Ethan.
But yeah, so he, it wasn't him, but somebody else, I guess, leaked the address of it, and all these people started showing up.
I wonder who. We're not going to say any names.
I don't know.
On the internet there.
Nope.
We all
I don't
know.
know.
You guys probably know. Your viewers have been. So.
Some people might know.
Right.
I don't know. We've never named.
If you're not, we're not going there.
We've never named them
topic.
by name or by
That's
acronym. That's all I'm saying.
It was Moshi-o.
It was, no, it was definitely not. But yeah, so eventually they got leaked, and then people started vandalizing the place. Not like super heavily, but they started destroying like the glass cube walls.
It's right on the wall.
Yeah, and they were like people were writing weird stuff on the wall, and then yeah, I don't know that. And then now it got
I remember
purchased.
when I went. The pond was full of water the first time we went.
Right. Yeah,
that was wild.
Yeah.
I think I still have the photo of
Yeah,
that. And when you
it
see
was
a
for a
lot
long
of other
time.
people's
Yeah.
photos, they don't have the water in there, right? It's just rocks.
Wow.
Yeah, the waterfall was still coming down. No.
No, it wasn't running.
No,
No
yeah, there was
power.
nothing running after.
I thought it was.
Well, no, there was power because the alarm or the smoke detector was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that was just
yeah.
the batteries were just running
The
out of
batteries,
juice, so they would
yeah,
just constantly beep. But would you say that was one of your like favorite spots that you did in Toronto?
Yeah,
One of?
Maybe
Yeah.
him. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I've been exploring like for so long. I
Yeah.
just run out of favorites.
Yeah.
My honest favorites is probably the Whippy Psych.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's demolished now, but
Why was it your favorite? Like what?
it was just so big.
Oh, okay.
There's just so much to look at, so
Yeah.
much to go. It had a building.
Mhm.
It had the auditorium with like its separate auditorium. It's on
Right.
a massive property. It's got multiple like doctor style like cabins and then giant asylum buildings, and it was all on one property, connected tunnels underground.
Yeah.
That was just probably one of the best places.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Tunnels
Yeah.
are always a bonus.
I had a bowling alley. And I remember playing paintball in the
Yeah.
gym.
Yeah.
That was
Wow.
wicked. Yeah.
It's basically like a typical psychiatric center of Ontario,
That's
because they're
right.
all
Yeah.
generally built the same. Right?
Yeah.
You have what is it, like 4 like major modernized ones. Now they're all kind of abandoned, like Rideau near Ottawa, and then you had the one in Orillia, which was probably the worst one, and then Whitby, and then I think there was a couple of other ones. I just can't remember the names of them. And then before that was like Century Manor, and
Yeah, that's right.
the London Asylum, and all those crazy
like even
places.
London was fun, but
Yeah. You didn't seem too happy with that one.
Yeah. I don't know. Even when I was just there doing the video, it just like felt rushed, and the security was on the grounds when we went.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's probably the issue. But
I was just peeking around all day, just trying
Yeah.
to get a shot, and it's
Yeah.
just like I'm getting so tired of this.
yeah,
Right.
that place was. I don't know. We didn't have any issues the first time we actually got it. The first time we tried to get in, it was me, Dave, Carlo, and Mo, and the security was onto us like no tomorrow.
Yeah, they were.
And,
That's like us. They were watching us from the field at first.
Yeah.
and then he's slowly creeping his way
Yeah.
closer and closer and closer. I'm just like, this guy's gonna get us. Like,
Yeah.
let's
Well,
just-
Dave
we need
almost
to
got
just start
caught in
hiding.
that place behind the fence line. He had to like drop down and like hide in the snow. at
Oh,
some
you guys went
point.
in the winter.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
It was brutal.
Wow.
So he was like face down in the snow.
Winter
so
exploring is not for this guy.
No, I don't blame you.
No.
way.
I hate winter exploring.
No.
I hate the cold.
I know we
these
live in
days.
Canada, and
Well, the cold,
yeah.
it just.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
No,
Yeah.
not for me.
No, definitely not. That's why I kind of like going to the southern states during the winter more often.
That's right.
than-
Take me to Arizona or something.
Well, Arizona, depending on where you are, is kind of cold during
really,
the winter.
eh?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
like it's. I mean, it's like 10 to
But
12.
still, it's comfortable.
Yeah, but then
It's not.
But trust me, when you're, it depends
Damn,
where you
car
are.
won't start. It's
Yeah.
so damn cold outside.
When you're
like-
in the mountains or it hits nighttime, let me tell you, it gets cold.
Yeah, you would know.
right?
You
Yeah.
spent some time out
Yeah,
there.
like we were in Vegas during the, I think it was November into December or something like that. Then we came back for Christmas, and during the day wasn't so bad. It was like 12, 14. Some days a little bit warmer even than that. And then at night it was like maybe -5 degrees Celsius. But we were out in like the mountain areas, and it was friggin' cold.
Freezing.
Yeah, it was like the wind, the way it comes down into the
Why
valley.
did we come
it was
here?
like, no, thank you. But yeah, it's always a fun experience. Do you guys ever plan on going like to do international places ever?
I don't know about him, but I
No?
would love to. Like, I don't know how well he follows it,
Mm,
like the Urbex stuff and all of that. You have to ask him that.
It all depends, really, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, you could always go to BC and get some BC weed from BC,
That's
right?
That's his motivation to go right
Exactly.
there, And you're like, let's go right now.
Why are we sitting here for?
Are we finished?
But if there was like one place that you could do, well, which place would it be?
For me, I like to go like Fukushima and that type of stuff. Oh yeah.
I've always wanted to go. I've been dying to go back to Japan since we went, but it just hasn't really panned out yet to find the time.
I heard it's
to
really
do
expensive to go to Japan.
So. It depends, right? Like some things were a little expensive. Like the flights are expensive, kind of, somewhat. Now they're more expensive than they were when we first went. So some things have changed a little bit, but I found food was like, normal price.
That's the thing. I don't think I would survive.
Why? Because you eat too much?
No, because I'm a picky food eater, you know?
So was I. So before Japan, I never ate fish. In preparation for Japan, we had our friend's bachelor party, and I tried everything I could here. And out there, the sushi,
It was better.
so like I had never eaten sushi. I tried it, and it just fish wasn't for me.
Yeah.
But out there, how fresh it is, there's none of that fishy flavor. And all that. It was a lot easier for me out there.
That's because they use the good shit.
Yeah,
That's
well,
like
yeah.
over
Here it's
And then
frozen.
you come
It's been
back
sitting in
here.
a truck for 8 weeks.
You come back here, and it's not at all
It's
the same.
not even comparable.
But I was also very, very picky, and I found a lot to eat there actually.
Well, it's good to know. Good to know. There's high hopes.
Yeah.
It was surprising. They even had like a few decent halal options for you guys.
Curry places.
The curry places
Yeah.
were fantastic. I don't know if you're into
Japanese
curry.
curry is a
that
thing.
sounds good.
Yeah. So, and their curry is like different though, because it's not like overpowering.
It's not super
or,
spicy.
It's not right.
Like, because here, I mean, people here, I think they get confused between curry and cumin, right? So, like, a lot of people here, like, because we have a huge Punjabi population in this area, and they have a habit of overusing cumin and curry, which is what creates the very strong smell and
deliciousness.
flavor. Right? It's good. Don't get me wrong. If you like that kind of stuff, but it's not for everyone, right?
Even my little brother, he's like, "You eat that stuff?"
Yeah, of course. Why
It's
not?
delicious. What do you mean?
Try it out.
Just try it.
Yeah.
And then he'll send me a picture of him on cooking a steak or something. Like everybody's had that. Try something new in your life.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But I will say there's nothing wrong with a good steak. A good ribeye.
I see you post that all the
Medium
time.
rare.
Medium rare, right?
medium rare.
Finishing off the day. Click. Angelo, did you really do that, bro? Come on.
Didn't we have steak when we were in Japan? We had Wagyu
well, we
beef,
had the Wagyu.
but was it a steak?
Well, I guess it would have been
No,
not really. No,
It was little strips.
It was
of
little
yeah.
like slivers of it,
They
but it was
teased you.
but it was cool though the way they did it.
Yeah.
A little from Canada. Give me your money.
We went for Italian once. That was a very
that was a
bad
mistake.
decision. I felt so bad, like because we were all in a hurry, and this guy was like, there was this one old man who was like running the whole show by himself, and he made like these very small portions of the pizzas were literally this big. Same with like the pasta portions. Everybody left hungry.
Yeah.
And then we ended up. Where did we go? We went to Andrew's.
That was his
bachelor
Japan
party,
bachelor
right?
party.
Yeah. So then we ended up going to like this. And then somebody made the worst decision possible to host the bachelor party on a rooftop of a really tall building. And our friend Andrew, who was the bachelor, is terrified of heights. He can. I remember
that was an oversight.
Do you remember one time when we went to I think it was Two's Falls in Hamilton, and one person stood up on this like wall just to look, and he's like, no, fuck that, I'm out. I'm going to wait in the car when you guys are done. Just take as long as you want.
That would be me.
Heights?
Not for me.
I'm kind of like that too. I am getting better with them. I try to fight it as much as possible.
I don't mind going up, but don't put me near the edge. No, that's just too much. Like
you know who's really bad?
We're not made to do that stuff.
No.
Okay.
You were bad too, though.
I was a lot worse earlier, and I always wanted to not be, and so I decided to jump out of a plane. So we went skydiving for one of my birthdays.
Are you crazy?
Are you
crazy?
And it cured most of it. Absolutely did cure most of it. Yeah.
Dude, I'd probably pass out.
That's what I think.
Right?
So
That's-
like
that was what would
I
happen
did
to
that.
me.
Yeah. Well, so
Like,
I
come
did
on.
that, and then I went to my dad's Guyanese. So we
Here
went
we go.
We went, we went to Guyana, like, you know, like more than almost 20 years ago now. And I stood at the edge of a waterfall, and one of the tallest waterfalls on Earth, and at the edge on the rocks. And
You're crazy.
yeah,
Are you
half
sure you
like
don't do drugs?
that, right? Adrenaline's my drug, right?
That's
Yeah,
it. That's
absolutely,
it.
absolutely
That's
cured
it.
me.
Yep.
Absolutely
Yeah.
cured me.
That's
I think,
wild. Eh?
I think
Yeah.
the funniest.
Wow.
And there's no. It's not like I knew it was gonna work either. I could have
It
shit
just
my pants in the
happened
air.
to work.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Luck-
you
luckily
need to
you
get
were
on
with
the edge
someone.
walk down there on the CN Tower.
I've wanted to. I have wanted
No,
to. Yeah.
thank
I'm
you.
I'm less.
me, but
Yeah,
he's
isn't
like,
it funny?
yeah, power.
Isn't it funny? I'm kind of less. I don't want to trust a cord like the edge walk or like a bungee cord, but parachute, I'm in. How stupid is that?
Oh
You
my
know?
God.
Yeah. Like a bird comes, go rip through that thing, and you're done. But
Well, that's what's happening up there.
It was fun.
But that's what the backup one's for. Nah, man, I don't know if I could do that. I would maybe try, but then probably shit myself. But
I'd pass out guaranteed.
Mike
Yeah.
is
Oh, yeah,
Mike
I
is
feel it.
really
Yeah.
really bad. So we recently, and it's funny too. So we took the gondola up to, it's called Sulphur Mountain in Banff, and he's cool on the gondola. And I think I was in the gondola with him and Kat, and he was cool with that. And I'm like, I don't know how you're cool with this. You're claiming you're afraid of heights or whatever. I'm like, you're full of shit. You're so full of
Swing
shit,
around
right?
the cable,
Yeah.
you know, above
So
the trees.
and
I don't like heights, but this is awesome.
So I'm like shitting my pants in the gondola, but whatever. We finally get to the top, we walk around, and basically our friend Stefan was planning on proposing at the top of the mountain. Hence why, if any of you guys have seen my vlog, it's really awkwardly filmed in a way when we were at the top of this mountain, the most recent trip to Alberta. And the reason why was because he was planning on proposing. It was obviously too busy. He didn't end up doing it up there and did it at Lake Louise instead. So anyways,
Did he chicken out?
huh?
Did he chicken out?
Well,
Switching
kind
spots
of.
like that?
Yeah, it was just like
No, now's not the right time.
yeah. Well, that's basically what happened.
spot.
It's because it was so busy up there, and he was just like, oh, he just got like really nervous because
Everyone
all
would've
these
loved it.
freaking people.
Everyone
yeah,
loves
of
the
course,
wedding
of
proposal.
course. Yeah. But yeah, we're finally like up to the top of this mountain, and we're in like the observation area, and we're all waiting because we didn't know he was gonna do it. And then she found all of this out later. Like she knows all of this happened, right? Because Mike all of a sudden is holding my camcorder. And she's like thinking in her head, like, why is this fucking guy like filming everything, right? Because why would Mike be holding the camcorder?
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
So Mike's trying to make it like less obvious and just be like, oh, it's exploring with Angelo at the top of the mountain. Oh, here's Anthony. Oh, here's Kat. Oh, here's myself. Oh, here's Stefan. Right? It's like, what's he gonna do? What are we doing? Right? So there was parts where you can keep going after you take the gondola and go to the top level or whatever. There's like a boardwalk, and this boardwalk goes to basically the side of the mountains, like basically the edge of a cliff. And at some point, Stefan, I think he was trying to do it there. So he's like walking towards the cliff, and I was kind of like, oh shit,
Like, don't
right?
slip,
And
bro.
Mike's like,
Don't slip.
Mike's like, he's like, fuck you, Stefan. Fuck you. No. And he's like literally like holding on to the side of the wall, and he's trying to hold the camcorder. And we kept going up and up and up to the tallest point of the mountain, which is where it starts to get really, really narrow, right? It's perfectly safe. There's nothing like unsafe about it. And we get to this one part, and he's there's a photo of him literally like this on the wall. And he's absolutely just mortified, right? And then he was even more mad because then Stefan decided not to do it up there. And it was funny because at one point we had this one area that's basically the very last part of this thing, which is right next to this random little building. And me and Mike were kind of like holding people back. right? Like trying to stop them because we knew that he was trying to
Trying to do his
propose,
thing,
right?
yeah.
And then of course you had like random tourists that were just kind of shoving in. He's like, oh, look. Mike's like, oh, look at this guy just shoving his way through, right? Because we're like trying to hold people back, like, yo, can you like fuck off? Like he's trying to propose, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's the reason why he didn't end up doing it, because it was just so many people. But oh my god, Mike was hilarious. Like he was literally holding on to me as we're going, and I'm scared of heights too. And I'm like, yo, the guy who's afraid of heights is holding on to the other guy who's afraid of heights. Like this is gonna end very badly, right? He's like holding on to my backpack. I'm like, you're good, Mike, you're good. Meanwhile, I'm telling him he's good, and I'm like, I'm not good, bro. I'm not good.
Don't look
right?
down, bro. Don't look down.
It's hard not to, right? Once you get to the top of this damn mountain, you're just staring out there in the horizon. You're like, wow, this is beautiful, but oh my god, I could
Why did I do
die.
this? How am I getting
Going
down?
up, no problem.
me
But
out,
coming back
look
down,
out.
it's like,
We're not
wow.
walking down here.
Yeah, going down I find is a little bit easier though. It's going up that's a little bit scary.
Well, no, you just, you smoke a joint, you look up, and you just keep going up. But then you look
See,
down, it's like,
everything's
oh,
That's your medicine for anything.
That's right. You see?
Hey man loves his weed, right? Nothing wrong with some weed. Oh my god. But yeah, man. So did I ask you what place would you really like to explore? Like what would be your top of your, if you had a place that you would
I don't know.
do?
Where does he know in the world?
Spot a lot. That was a good one.
Well, you said Fukushima, right?
For me,
So
yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
just something that intrigues you about? I mean, the whole area is just completely abandoned, right?
Yeah, it's. I guess because everywhere you go, you can make a different
Right.
story.
Yeah, you
Right,
could probably
and that's
film
what-
like a
that's
20-part
what I like
series.
about it. Like I find everything nowadays, it's missing a story.
Mm.
Right? Nobody believes in the story anymore. It's just about snap into it and get it done and over
Mhm.
with. Like what
Right.
happened?
Mm-hmm.
Even movies like we grew up on, everything had a story. Nowadays, it's just about special effects.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
that was cool. You see them blow that up.
Yeah, man.
You don't hear nobody talking about the stories anymore.
Right.
Did you see that Tesla that got sent to space, man? What cool CGI, dude. Oh, wait, what do you mean that was real?
Send me the link.
How do I sign up? There's that other movie recently where these 4 people go into this little shuttle thing down to see the Titanic. Did you guys see that
Oh
movie?
my god.
That's wild.
Bad
Yeah.
joke. Bad joke too soon. Yeah, Fukushima would be really cool. I really wanted to do it when we wanted to do our trip, but the timeline was so tight because we ended up going to like, all the other places like Kyoto and Hiroshima. And
Like, of course, I would before. It would have been Chernobyl, but now
Right.
there's the war and everything going
Yeah.
on. Right?
Yeah.
So
unfortunately, I don't think. Although it would be a hell of a lot more interesting if we went now, wouldn't it?
this is true. This is true. You get some great video
Oh,
footage. That's for sure.
100%. Bro,
Yeah.
I went to Chernobyl during the war. Like, that would be
right.
freaking wild. There's just like
Yeah.
soldiers like shooting. But I think it's all occupied by Russia right now.
It is right now.
Yeah. I think that was one of the very first places they managed to capture during the very, very beginning of the onset of the war. But yeah, Pripyat, Chernobyl would be amazing. Fukushima, probably 3 Mile Island.
3 Mile Island.
Right? Yeah. I don't
That
know.
would
Is
be
that
really
place
nice.
like still in existence? Like, is that, does it like the
Can we swim there?
building? I don't know. Can we? That'd be kind of cool. Oh, you know what would be really cool? Povalia. That would be an interesting. The island of
Oh,
death
the island,
off the
yeah.
coast of Venice.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
something that's always kind of been on my bucket list. But to do it at night, of course.
Of course,
'cause
with you.
do it
At
during
night,
the
yeah, it would
day,
be more creepy.
right?
Yeah.
100%. I mean, you're on an island with like thousands of dead people buried all over this one tiny little small
That's
place,
cool.
right?
That's
So it's such a unique story, and it's like it's bound to be haunted. I don't really think. I mean, there's probably been a few people, but there hasn't been too many that have really done like a strong paranormal investigation that I've seen. I mean, maybe there's some now since the last time I probably checked, but that would be a really
Well, that's a
interesting.
video for
place.
you to go do now.
I guess
Right?
so. I gotta
Right?
steal a
When we
boat.
go and pack up, let's go.
Yeah. What are we doing here? Let's just book our tickets and head on over. So apart from that, when you guys do your exploring, because you've been doing it for so long, how do you handle like the laws behind it? Because there's so many people that I talk to, maybe it's just that they're so noobish, that they're always so worried about a trespass or whatever.
So for
right?
me, this is Ontario at least. It's
Yeah.
just a ticket.
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
exactly.
So
exactly.
It's not
what,
like
are you,
it's
what are
gonna
you
go on
worried
your
about?
record
And
or anything.
honestly though, most of the time, if you ever even do get stopped,
Mhm.
the security is more of an asshole than the cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like
100%.
buddy, chill. you're just doing your job. I get
Yeah.
it, but like calm down, because when the cop shows up, you're gonna see he's gonna let me walk away from here, right? So I find as long as you're respectful to the building, you're not breaking in. That's the number one Urbex rule, right? Don't break in. Let some young kid do it. You know, of course, with their buddies or
let somebody else.
When
do
you find the
dirty
entry
work.
point, okay, now you can go in. Thanks, kids, right?
Right.
Yeah, like I know it was funny because I remember Ethan telling me a little while ago about he had some issues with the police because there was a certain abandoned house that he went to and it just kind of went wrong. And I was with him at the time, so he messaged me to tell me about it. He's like, yeah, you know, the cop was actually really cool. He's like, oh, I've seen your videos. Like, you make really
as long as
cool
you're being
stuff.
Respectful, right?
Yeah, he's
That's
like, keep doing your thing, man. Like, keep going and breaking into
100%.
other people's houses, right? Like, he was just like, oh, I was caught completely off guard that this cop was actually super nice. And I think
the only thing that I don't like is that people think you're breaking into people's houses, right?
Yeah,
like,
they always define it as the wrong thing because a break and enter is legally defined as, you know, going in with intent.
That's right.
Like,
Having
it could be
tools
like
on
murder,
you. That's
theft,
right.
and things like that. Not even just tools, but going in with the intent to obviously
take something out.
Yeah,
That's
to
right.
steal something or to like, you know,
I want
hurt
the carpet.
someone. Yeah, but it also
I need those cupboard doors.
funny story. Ethan actually ran and did he talk about it when we did the live?
What do you say?
So he was at there was an abandoned neighborhood in a certain area, won't say where, but there was an abandoned neighborhood. They have all been completely demolished.
Oh, I know what you're talking.
You know what I'm talking about. So you probably saw D-Dog's story. There was a guy who was breaking into the new buildings, and he was breaking into those and stealing something, and then he was coming into this house, and he was literally like yelling out about
he wanted the cabinets.
he wanted the kitchen cabinets and the counters. I think he wanted the kitchen counters.
Ethan
or
was
something.
talking
he wanted the counter.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
wow.
So he's like
Next
literally,
level.
he's like yelling out. He's like, I need those kitchen
this for my
counters.
I have my tools.
Oh my god, that's so funny. But yeah, man, people are freaking nuts.
So have you guys gotten tickets?
No.
Good.
No.
Very good.
They're always usually pretty respectful.
Yeah.
They always ask to see what you were doing though, right? And I'm just here for a couple photos. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's good.
I'll usually wing up some. I grew up in the neighborhood, you know. I used to be here all the time.
Yeah.
It's memories. Oh, okay. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
But usually they're pretty cool.
yeah.
I've never had an asshole cop, let's say, yet.
Yeah, as long as you're just pretty chill about it and just being respectful, and you're good to go. And there's no issues, and I like it that way.
It's the people that are walking around smashing windows and drinking with their beer bottles and
they
throwing
make it
them
afterwards. Shitty for everybody else.
That's right. Like, even if you go to drink with a bunch of your buddies, you still got to be respectful, right? Come on.
Be respectful. Don't smash things and clean up after yourself, right? So,
Sorry, I'll bring a broom next time.
Yeah. I mean, just like bring your empties and
I didn't
stuff.
know my
right?
mom was here.
Hey, I like a neat and tidy home, okay?
Even if it's someone else's.
Even if it is somebody else's, keep the house nice and clean, right? Yeah, I've had a couple of encounters. I've actually been charged with break and enter. Obviously, it was all dropped because the cops were just really stupid about it, trying to claim it was like a vacation home, and it's like, oh, that's weird. I don't know they have vacation homes with craft dinner that's been sitting there since 1989.
Yeah,
right. Like,
that's
what
right.
are you talking about? There's a smashed window. There's a glass in the sink. Like, if somebody was coming
There's
here,
mold spores 4 feet tall in
right,
the living room, you know?
right. And it was like, dude, like, you can smell that this place is like covered in mold, right? Like, this is not a livable home. So I had to hire a lawyer and whatever, and eventually fought it. But
Still the hassle you had to go through.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hassle.
And the money, right? Like, you got to hire a lawyer is not cheap, right? It's going to cost you just to get him to court the very first time.
It's like R&K all
$2,000-3,000.
day, right? When he got blamed for the submarine.
Yeah, that's all
Right,
public
in the
info now, right?
Yeah, it's all public. He released his video on it and everything.
Yeah, I think he had some issues with he went to some abandoned submarine, and I don't remember the exact details of it, but I think somebody like ratted him out.
Yeah,
or something along those lines.
And they tried to say he's the one that opened the valve, that why it was leaking, and started filling with water. When they
okay, I
after
didn't
the
know those
research went
details.
through and all that,
They found it wasn't true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that it was actually some other asshole that made the thing fill with water or whatever. Because it was like a museum.
It used to be a
piece or
museum,
whatever, right?
Yeah, and the owner just neglected it.
Mm.
And
Yeah, it
the
happens.
seals went on its own.
The seals went on their own. But yeah, I remember I've had a couple issues here and there, and I've usually dealt with them without many major issues. I've had other cops that have called, like, you know, a whole group of us. How they got all of our numbers and then called us one after the other was just really weird. But I wonder how that happened. I think so. Yeah. A certain person we will not name or mention their acronym.
Andrew, Andrew, you're not a nice guy, man. I'm not hanging out with you anymore.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah.
Security.
Security, please escort him.
This guy right here.
But yeah, hate that shit when that happens. But usually, yeah, it gets sorted out because it is
That
just
was
at the
someone
end
just
of the
trying to
day,
get out of their own
trespass.
little thing, like, oh, it was just me and this person, trying to get out of it because they're the ones that got caught, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. It happens, but or somebody just has it out for certain
They will
people.
never
and they want
own
to see
up.
them. Yeah, of course, they'll never do that. How do you balance preserving? Believe it or not, I actually got this question from ChatGPT. I'm just going to to be honest here, because I was just
Here we
thinking of
go.
like random
Here we go.
ideas, and I'm like, yeah, how did ChatGPT will it work? So how do you balance preserving the secrecy of lesser known locations with sharing your experiences and findings with the Urbex community to the public?
So even if you watch my videos, like even other people will upload the same place, but I just feel the respect out of like the movie theater video we have.
Yeah,
it's a giant place. Everybody probably been there and knows what I'm talking about.
Which one was the location of that one?
I think I think it was in Quebec. Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Wait, theater?
It was a theater. Yeah.
Oh, no, you mean the one in New Brunswick?
Oh no, I never been to that one.
Oh, okay. you should definitely check it out. I know it's a long drive, but it's worth it.
But yeah, I'll always blur the place out, or I have full respect for the place, right? I don't want a bunch of people to run in there and. Because sometimes there is valuables left in these places, and we're there checking
Somebody
it out.
will
Like that's
take
cool,
them.
you know.
Yeah.
Like leave it.
Yeah.
It's not yours.
Yeah.
This is not. It's not uncommon that people steal things
Oh yeah,
from
especially
abandoned
in
places.
the Urbex community.
Yeah, and I think that's the one thing, because it's, first of all, I mean, you're stealing somebody else's property. Second of all, you're taking away from other people who are exploring it, and those valuables add so much to the location that they need to be there, right? So why would you take them out? But yeah, I do remember there was a house that had a lot of valuables, and there was one very large
I know
green
which one you're
one
talking about.
that disappeared one day, right? And I remember
we tried to go there. Remember? Well, so I went there. The first time I went was with Carlo. It was when I guess it was first found, you can say. And the neighbors chased us away, so I had to come back with Andrew one time, and that's the same thing. We never even got in there because, again, the neighbor chased us out.
Yeah, because I think the neighbor found out that a lot of people were going there.
That's what I think is the neighbor saw so much traffic starting to go
it
there.
was like
but
one
that's what I
after the
heard is
other.
someone took something big from there.
Yeah, I think they had started watching it at that point, and things had started slowly getting
Because that house is full.
missing.
Come on.
Yeah, and I mean, at one point, I believe it had an alarm that was actually armed.
Oh, it was an alarm.
At one point, it was like
yeah.
on and off with the alarm, and it had become an issue because people were probably still breaking in.
That's right.
Without another noob thing, right? If you can see the alarm panel, is it red or not red? Right? If it's red, it means it's armed, and then as soon as you open the door.
Something's
Then
gonna happen.
it's going to go off, and security is going to show up. And then at one point they ended up actually hiring security, and the security was there around the clock, sitting on the driveway.
That's
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I remember we were
It's
heading down
remodeled
there.
now, that place.
I heard it got cleaned out.
Is it the same owners? No.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
That
But
I didn't look up on, but that would be interesting to know.
yeah, I don't know.
Go knock on the door and ask.
No,
I'll pass.
I mean, you could.
Actually, I
Yeah.
don't mind. I've never been inside of it, so for me, I'm good.
Yeah. At this point, it's empty. There's nothing.
I
in
tried.
there. So, but yeah, that was actually a really, really interesting place. But yeah, definitely gotta. I do the same thing. I try to, like I said, we give people locations to theaters in New Brunswick that I highly recommend people who really want locations to go to. By the way, there is no theater in New Brunswick. There is also there is one theater. No, there is a theater in Quebec.
Is there?
Yeah, the one that caught on fire. That one's in near Trois Rivières, which it's not. I'm lying. But yeah, it caught on fire. That one was actually kind of cool. I've done that a few times. It's a neat place. I don't even remember what the hell it was called. It was like one of the first theaters I had ever done.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
This is like the old school style, architecture wise, or was
yeah,
it?
it was like Egyptian style,
wow.
actually.
Oh, wow, that's
So
actually
like
pretty
the
cool.
decorations were all like on the walls. Like you could still see some remnant. I mean, the thing caught on fire like 30, 40 years ago. But you could still see like the remnants on the walls of all
that's the good
Egyptian
thing.
stuff.
Nowadays buildings are just square boxes,
Yeah.
with no
Plain.
character, or everyone just wants this open concept thing. It's like, what is wrong with you guys?
Yeah, especially here.
Where
I
did you
noticed
grow
in
up?
I noticed in Ontario they do that so much. Like if you were to go, like I've been to like a bunch of different casinos across the U.S. and they're all super unique.
I
in their
love the
own way.
casino. I love those dirty sluts.
But dirty slut. I have a really funny story. I'll get into it in a second about dirty sluts in Las Vegas. But just like comparing like the Woodbine Casino here, where you literally feel like you're in an office building.
Yeah.
Like it's like this, like with the drop
That's right.
tiles, and it's just very plain white.
It's 90s, man.
Yeah,
90s
yeah.
style casino.
Meanwhile, it was built in like the 2000s,
That's right.
I think, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, why is this place so like lame, right? And I mean, I've been to like a bunch of different casinos in Vegas, and they're all like, I mean, I get it. It's Vegas at the end of the day. But then I've also been to, the Hard Rock in Fort Lauderdale. I've been to the Rivers Casino in Pittsburgh, and even that one's nicer, right? So
Are you rich yet?
me? No.
You did win big?
No. I probably won't. I mean, I
feel
don't
you.
really gamble that
It
much.
just eats you up. That's all
Yeah.
it ever
You can
is.
never say you can't gamble that much, because when you say that, then you start to gamble more.
I had a good streak
I know I
once
don't.
going there,
I
though.
don't.
Good
I
streak.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually
Even he
able
was
to.
getting mad, and he's like, "Bro, I swear you're making more money doing that than you are working." I'm like, "Probably am, bro, right now."
Yeah.
But that streak didn't last very long.
No.
Yeah, and then you start losing,
That's
and
right.
then you don't talk about how much you end up losing, right? Until you win. You
yeah.
only talk about the times you win.
He's still waiting for that one jackpot. Even the mini, he says.
Hey, man, you gotta have the dream, man.
Exactly. But yeah, so I've been in casinos like all over the place in Arizona, and then I find the ones here are just so plain and boring. The one in Calgary was kind of cool. It was just really, really small. It was cool because it was all like kind of cowboy themed and whatever, and they had the Bret Hart restaurant inside of there, and it was pretty cool. But there's nothing like the ones in like Vegas. Like they just
the
don't
ones
compare.
here are
Yeah.
The only good one that even looks half decent is the Falls View, right?
Yeah. I don't think I've been to that one, but maybe I'll check it out one day. Just hang out.
I
But
think
yeah,
I've been inside that.
the Falls View
Yeah.
Casino.
That's Niagara Falls we're talking
Yeah.
about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we walked
that
in.
one's nice.
We walked
It's
in, me
okay,
and
but
the
it's,
wife.
yeah, like you're saying, it's plain.
It's not like all these new ones that they're building. They're just empty rooms. They just want
Right.
your money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the system. But at least like you go to Vegas, you're actually like entertained because of the scenery.
Yeah, they
right?
pump you that fresh air, right? That's supposed
Oh,
to make you
yeah.
stay longer.
Oh,
Feel
dude.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, drain
Yeah.
that pocket.
and they give you free drinks in Vegas as
Of
long as you have a
course.
minimum. They come and they continually bring you free drinks.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, wow.
So that's a bonus because they don't do that.
Just
here.
leave your credit card right here, sir. It'll be fine.
So as long they monitor because they've explained how it works. They monitor as long as it's as long as you have $25 in the slot machine, depending on the hotel. That's what it was at when we were at Luxor, and they'll just keep bringing you.
Would you like a drink,
more
sir?
drinks, yeah. So what some people will do is they'll put like $30 in the machine, and then they'll just wait until they see the waitress walking around, and they're just
They
like,
cash
"Oh,
out.
she's coming!
Yeah.
1 cent, 1 cent, 1 cent," and then finally they come like, "Would you like a drink, sir?" "Yes, please. I've been playing here all night." And then she leaves, and you just stop playing until she brings you her drink. Yeah, thank you for my drink. And then you just stop playing, and then when you finish your drink, you see her coming around again, and you start playing again, right?
Yeah.
But they're usually pretty cool about it. Even like, so I don't really play like card games or anything, but my friend Brent will, and I'll sit and observe. Or when I go with Jazz, he likes to play blackjack and stuff like that. So I'll sit and observe, and they usually like come around and give you like free drinks and stuff. But what else do they give you? What else do they offer you
What's
there?
in that?
Yeah. So I've been offered playing. I was just sitting at the slot machine. And I remember one guy coming up and offering me Coke, and they're very open about it. They're like, "Hey man,
Where is this?
This is Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like literally sitting on the casino floor, just, you know, minding your own business, playing a game. There's just dudes walking around the floor. They're like, hey man, you want to buy some Coke? I'm like, no man, I don't do that. I'm good. You want anything else? You want some weed? I'm like, no, I don't smoke. Want some heroin or something? I'm like, no, I'm
Come
good,
on, you want
dude.
something? You're at a
You want
casino.
something, right? I'm like, no, dude, I'm
There's
good.
no way you're blowing your savings and you're not high. Like, come on.
But yeah, then I'm just like, no, bro, I'm good, man. He's like, oh, you just drink, eh? And then he wouldn't leave me alone because I was winning, right? I was like in the bonus round, and he's like telling me like which buttons to press. I'm like, bro, just like,
You're just like, fuck off, bro.
right? Like, dude, I'm like, now I'm getting kind of like nervous. This random dude who's trying to sell me cocaine is watching me all of a sudden win, right?
He's gonna rob you.
Yeah, I get. Well, I mean, I wasn't leaving the casino. I was just going.
Right.
I was on the floor. There's cameras everywhere, so best of luck, right?
Yeah.
And then there was another moment. I think I was with Jazz at that time, and we were. What was he doing? I think he was placing a bet on something. I think it was the World Cup at the time. Yeah, because it was December, so he was placing a bet on the World Cup. They have the automated machines, right? So you put your $100 in or whatever, you can place your bet. And there was some random woman that like walked past us, and she's like, what did she say? Skip the something.com, boy. Skip the something.com. He's like, oh, that must have been a honeypot, 100%, right? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? He's like, dude, she's a fucking narc, right? Like, what they do is they walk around, they try and get you to go on their website and basically book hookers, and then you get busted because it's basically a honeypot, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So,
What's a honeypot?
so basically, it's like it's basically like a setup, right? So you have like these people who will go around and like advertise certain products, right? Like drugs or prostitution or things
get
like
you in
that.
the act.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
And then
Gotcha.
you'll essentially book one of them, which is a very common thing in Vegas. You'll book one of them, and then you get busted by the police because it's not legal when you could have just gone to the legal.
It wasn't your girlfriend. What do you mean?
But like for me, that was like kind of the first time I ever experienced something like that. So
Oh, you got busted?
no,
Oh.
I didn't book anybody. I looked because I was curious as to like what he was talking about, and then I looked at the website. I'm
He
like,
got
yeah, that's
busted, Moshi.
He definitely did. What happens in Vegas?
Stays in
Man, don't
Vegas.
expose
Yeah.
me, bro. Come on, don't expose
Wait until
me.
the after
You
show
brought up
on
the story.
Rumble.
You
Wait
brought
until
up
we
the
get to the Rumble episode.
Hey, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Except on rumble.com/the Brave Podcast.
Subtle sell. Subtle plug. So what else started, like what motivated you guys to start YouTube in the first place? So I know it was your idea, but like where did you get the idea to start a YouTube channel?
Honestly, I believe I was watching Exploring with Josh,
Okay.
and just kind of got the idea. And just when you watch videos and you watch what they're doing, it's like, well, hey, if they can do that, you can do that too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just kind of have a different concept.
Mm-hmm.
Then going from photography and Carlos, and just kind of got the idea and just wanted to have fun, learn something new.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day,
Yeah.
no matter what it is. It was fun. I wasn't, like you said, Craig, it's not about the money. It's just entertaining and just fun and having a good time.
Yeah,
Enjoy yourself,
exactly.
Oh yeah.
I said that?
Something
I'm
along
joking.
those
Exactly those words. You don't remember?
He's like,
Well,
nah,
thank you
man,
for
I want to
that
get millions of dollars.
What happened, guys? Where are we?
Well, at first, but now it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then you guys did do a bunch of videos. You don't.
Yeah.
When I was looking at the channel, you have published 47 videos and
Do I have that many?
47
That's actually more than I
videos
thought, to be honest.
and 3
published.
shorts. Yeah, I was looking
I
at
have
those.
shorts. Do you? Are you serious?
And no, I was looking at them and like you got some pretty good views on some of them. And what kept you going? Like, okay, well, first I should say you have had a short hiatus.
I just like the editing.
Yeah, you like it?
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't deal
Dude,
with it. I hate
I
it.
feel
bro.
as though
I
I'm
hate
I'm with
it.
you on that.
I hate it, man.
With a lot of our videos, I just go to have fun. I go to
Yeah.
explore to have fun. So when I'm slapping together this, it's just us yelling in these abandoned places across from each other, and I got to make a story about that to entertain you guys, right? So in my head, I'm like, how am I going to do this? So I just enjoy that process, I guess, right?
Yeah.
You like going over what you've seen and then making a story out of it.
Yeah, like my girlfriend will go up and she'll go, "Are you still there? It's 2 days. The video's 9 minutes long." I'm like, I know, but the music just doesn't feel right.
Oh, you're one of those.
Yeah,
Eh? Every little piece has to stick. I used to be like that too.
If you really watch, and if so, like, say you're by yourself, there's no one around, no distractions. You put on one of our videos, that's what it is, and you immerse yourself in it. It'll take you into that story, right? Through the music and what's happening in it, right? That's just what I try to do.
Yeah.
It's just something for me to do.
I feel like the music is a very important part, and a lot of people don't get that.
It really is.
It is because music kind of evokes a certain emotion.
That's right.
So, and I like doing that. I do that more so with my vlogs nowadays, rather than just the main channel stuff, because the main channel is kind of like it has a certain structure, and it's kind of hard to like really deviate from that depending on what I'm doing. I used to do like what you're talking about with the abandoned places, and I used to love doing that. I used to like doing the voiceovers, and
I hate the voiceover.
You hate those?
I hate the voiceover.
I hate
I'm like,
doing them.
fuck, why didn't I get that on normal film? I have to go talk over after. I'd rather be there interacting with you, and it's just more personal experience, right? You're there to hang out with me. You're honest. You're not there to watch the abandoned building. You're there to hang out with me and what crazy crap I'm getting myself into.
Sure.
Bring along this guy and his buddy, and let's see what happens.
Yeah. The I don't know. I kind of like enjoyed doing the voiceover because it told like a story.
You're good at it though. There's a difference.
I don't know. I guess I have no idea. But like I think the one time that I really was able to experiment with it was when I did Penhurst, because I did 5 episodes, and what I was kind of aiming for, I wanted to do something a little bit different, where it was like every episode was a continuation of the full story and all the different, because there was so much that happened at Penhurst Asylum, where it was literally one of the worst places as a mental patient in an institution in Pennsylvania. It was one of the very worst places that you could have possibly ended up at, and I wanted to be able to evoke that emotion through how I felt, but also being able to tell the story. And then I found a way where I felt it was very comparable, and I kind of felt it. I compared it to when I had gone to Auschwitz with Daniel back in 2012, and just the kind of it felt like the same vibe and feeling. Like you can feel the sadness, and you can feel, because there was a lot of children. You always feel the
energy.
Yeah. So something like that, and I kind of felt like I was really able to experiment in that, where it's like you had to watch episode 1 through 5 to fill in all the gaps of the documentary story type of thing, right? So whether it came out good or bad, it was whatever, but people seemed to enjoy it, and I just had a good time doing it, because you were like mucking around with all these different graphics, and then later on I got the drone, and then when you first get the drone, you're all excited, you got to film everything with a drone, right? Like you're filming
most
like
of my
your neighbor's backyard,
are courtesy of photography. I always ask him, and he's like, "Yeah, no problem, dude."
Yeah, of course. Yeah, as long as
I don't know a drone. I have a little tiny one, and the wind always screws it up, and it's just not worth the hassle. And it's like,
is that DJI?
Yeah, it's a piece of shit.
The Mini SE or whatever it was called. Yeah. I think my friend Lamar had one of those, and he flew it on, just blow it up. He flew it on his balcony, and then it just one day decided it was just going to blow away.
You see? Yeah, the wind takes it.
He didn't know where it went. It just never came back. And then he didn't know where it went.
Because we film abandoned. We're always in the middle of nowhere, and that's all you deal with is wind and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I was just like, no, I'm not dealing with this. Yeah, I could have bought a better one, but when you got friends in the community that don't mind helping you out, I guess, and it's all right.
The amount of times we had drone situations. I remember one time it was the first time we filmed the London Asylum. It was the middle of the day, and Mo decided to film with his drone, and somehow he ended up getting it stuck in a tree, right? So we're all there.
That's the worst.
Literally,
That's the worst, getting it stuck in
terrible,
the tree.
because it was just stuck up there, and it was flashing, and there's like nothing you can do, right? So
start climbing.
Well, that was the next thing he was probably going to do. And this is Mo. He probably would have done it. Or actually, no, at that time, he was just like, yeah, whatever. I'll just buy another
That's
one.
what I was going to say.
Yeah,
Like, nah, fuck. Let's go.
He's like, it's not worth it. He's like, normally I would, but I think his daughter was just born like a little before that. So he was kind of like in this mood where he's like, I'm not going to go kill myself doing this stuff, right? So, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But I just remember all of us just grabbing a bunch of big sticks and we're just all chucking it in the middle of
Hoping it's
London
gonna drop
Asylum's
down.
property. And
Yeah.
then finally one of us hit it. So we got it. And then he's like running towards it. It was kind of like one of those slow-mos. He's no, and he literally just missed it by like half a foot, and it just smashed straight on the ground. It didn't completely break. I think the gimbal broke and something else. He got it repaired and it was fine, but it was just, oh my god, the amount of times we did that. And then also another time was in Burwash. I think Rennie got his drone stuck in a tree. It's just like I know so many
I would
people.
like to do Burwash. I keep telling him
Burwash is cool,
I want to
man.
go overnight there.
Yeah. Maybe we should do it. Maybe that's what we should do together because I know you wanted to do
Yeah, I'm
something.
down.
So, and I am down. I've been thinking about doing that again.
All right, let's do it.
It's
Yep.
quite the trek.
I heard.
But it's worth doing obviously during the summer because it's
Yeah.
like an hour and a half trek because you can't. There's like a big train track. We both own Subarus, but let's be honest. I don't think the Subis are even going to make it over the way this incline works. I don't know. So are you willing to sacrifice the ascent for
I don't know,
it?
Subaru, are you willing to help us out with a car for this adventure?
Subaru sponsor us. But
By the way,
yeah.
this video is not sponsored by
No. But please, Subaru, if you
Yeah.
want to, please sponsor us. For,
we are Subaru drivers.
We are. We
Yeah.
are avid Subaru drivers. Absolutely. But yeah, Burwash is really cool. It's a really
People
cool
right now are like,
adventure.
oh, I'm clicking off of this right now. Subaru drivers.
Oh God, Subaru
He's a Honda
drivers.
guy.
You know,
I saw the tattoo.
But yeah, I used to drive Mitsubishi. I went to the dark side for a small period of time, but only because I needed a
I like
really
how you
cheap
called
car.
it the dark side.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the dark side because they gave me like the worst customer service ever. Like they just treated you like
Mitsubishi themselves? Yeah.
yeah, like their like all of their dealerships suck.
Wow.
I don't know if it's just the GTA, but I remember because I had an issue with what was it? It was a knock sensor. It was something so simple, right? And I'm like, I don't need you to do the repair. I have a code, right? And there
You're
are
like,
obviously
clear it.
well, no, it wasn't. No, we could clear it ourselves, right? But the problem was it was detecting a faulty knock sensor. And we realized what had happened because I had what did I do? I think I changed the spark plugs, and when I was putting it back together, one of the cables on the sensor literally ripped out. We were able to fix it later. Me and Stan just kind of like soldered it while the thing was literally plugged in, right? Because we finally found the loose wire hanging off of it, so we fixed it eventually. But what had happened was. The sensor was showing up and I'm like, bro, I don't want to take the manifold cover and all that crap off all over again, right? Like, just tell me if it's the upper or the lower and I'll just order the specific one
what
that I
part do you
need.
need?
Right. They wouldn't tell me which one it was. They're like, no, you have to bring it in. We have to do it for you. And I'm
We
like,
have to look at it, sir.
yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's because, you know, you got to go
I
and
want
pay
your
the-
wallet.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, no, like, dude, you suck, right? And I've been like, Subaru like saved my butt so many times. They give phenomenal service.
They do.
So
They got
honestly,
really,
huge
really
shout
good
out to them.
customer service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like
Yeah.
really, really good. And I find like dealership rates that they charge are actually reasonable.
That's right.
They're like a normal, like, you know, mom and pop type of.
And I go to the
type of
same place all the
pricing.
time. I walk in there now and he's like, oh, Greg, how are you?
Right.
You know?
They're all
Nice.
like super happy to see you.
All right.
And,
That's cool.
and plus Rudy works there too. So
Oh,
he's-
yeah?
Yeah, Rudy's been
Oh,
their
that
parts
one.
guy for a
Oh,
long
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out Subaru Brampton if you're looking for a vehicle, go and check out Subaru Brampton. Just saying. But yeah, so Subi gang for life, right?
Yeah, buddy. That's what I gotta tell this guy.
So I guess last but not least, what is on the docket for the future? Like, what are your plans for I guess life, YouTube? What do you guys want to?
I would like to take YouTube a little more seriously.
Yeah?
That's kind of the goal.
Do you have a plan for something like that?
So
Or-
is it like your channel?
It's
Or are you
my
guys splitting?
channel.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, I do all the slave labor.
It sounded like it, yeah.
No. Stop taking all the credit now.
I do all the slave labor. Please tell me something you help with other than filming. But,
So yeah, so you want to take it more seriously. What does that mean?
I don't know. And not just to be just abandoned stuff. Like I would like to do other things,
Yeah.
right? But just everybody's trying to do things. Now it's like the market's so overwashed.
Yeah.
Everyone's their grandma and the dog, and the chipmunk next door is on YouTube right now, and it's like, what do you do, right?
But again, it's not really the content, like you said. A lot of times people are just watching for you, right? It could literally be the same location. You're going to end up with the same result.
Yeah.
But a lot of times they're watching you for maybe your reactions.
That's right.
To
I'm
what
just
you're
going in and having some fun.
Exactly. And I think people kind of like that. And obviously you end up trying.
I try to crack jokes to him all the time and stuff like that. You just kind of enjoy yourself when you're exploring, right? Don't take it so serious.
Exactly. And then you got Andrew in the corner.
Always. What, bro? What did you find? What's that? It's a BC bud.
I was gonna say, is it a big bag of weed?
We actually did find a big bag of weed.
Did you really?
Yeah, we really did.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That video I think has got a lot of views too. One of our videos, but in that mansion.
Oh, was it the drug
mansion?
The grow up mansion.
Yeah, the grow up.
Oh, the
mansion.
$10 million.
Yeah. So it's not on video. Actually, you might even see it on video if I'm walking through one of the rooms, one of the living rooms. There was a fireplace and it had all the vents and everything coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I remember recording it, but I don't remember uploading it on the internet. Afterwards, when I'm going home to watch the video and edit it all, you can see the big bag of marijuana sitting inside of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Just sitting there, giant bag. So we went back to go and look. And remember, we found the big bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't take it or nothing. We just wanted pictures of it all.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Craig didn't take it, but
Andrew might have. Right?
He just went back on his own.
You can actually see in that video how excited he got when he found the buds downstairs.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But then again, it's probably been sitting there for God knows how long.
So dry.
Hey, you know what?
It's not.
It was actually wasn't that bad.
No?
Yeah.
Did you try it?
One bud, yeah. One bud wasn't bad. I was like, all right, yeah, this is good.
Yeah, it was a little toasty though, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's around. Let's see what this was like.
Oh my God. That'd be so
Andrew.
funny. Yeah. I think the only time I've ever taken
not my
anything was like a
cousin.
golf ball. I've literally only ever taken a golf ball, and that's because there was literally a giant trash can full of golf balls, and I'm like, honestly, I don't think they're gonna miss one.
I took a Donald Trump magnet.
You should. Okay, my question is, where did you find a Donald Trump
That's
magnet?
what was so random about it. It's in a high school here in Ontario.
that's so
like,
random.
why is there a Donald Trump magnet in there?
Because people like Donald Trump, even here in
That's
Canada.
what I said. I was like,
right?
yeah, he looks cool. I put it on my fridge. I brought it home, slapped it on the fridge. Even the kids are all looking at it like, why is he on the fridge? Because it's America.
But yeah, I don't know. Apart from that, I think I found a letterhead envelope or something one time. I think it was like a Letchworth Village, and I'm just like, oh man, this is kind of cool. I'm like, dude, this place has been abandoned for 40 years. I don't think they're gonna miss an envelope, right? So,
with like the building's name on it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
and then I don't even know what the hell I did with it since then, but. Yeah, I've never really intended. I've found tons of valuables.
Same here.
So many different places, and I've never taken anything. Right?
I remember one time in this one abandoned house, it was in a candle. You can see it in the candle, and I guess the homeowner, I guess that's how they were stashing their coin collection. But you walk in there, and they were in candles, and it was just all coins inside. But apparently, actually, I heard that somebody did take those coins.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
I mean, what else is new, right? Some people.
But it looked
would-
like there were some old ones in there, like silver dollars and stuff like that, right?
100%.
So, of course. You
Yeah,
can see them
it's
clear
worth
as
money.
day in the candle and the glass container they had it in.
Yeah, I mean, some people ask me like, "Oh, have you ever found money before?" I think the only one like locally who's found a large sum of money was Freaktography, right?
Yeah.
So he found, I think it was like 10 G's or something like that. And then he finally got a hold of, and I think I know which house he found.
That's what's cool about him is he actually will contact the old owner of whatever he finds, and he'll be like, "Hey, did you know I found this in there?" Or
That's
a family
amazing.
member or
Yeah.
something, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what's cool.
But yeah, he found the daughter, I think, of the deceased owner. And of course, she was very interested in the money, but she didn't care about any of
About
the
the home.
effects
That's
in
right.
the actual house,
Yeah.
right? And this whole house was filled with antiques,
Yeah.
right? So you're talking like stuff that's been sitting. There was a calendar. If it was the same house, which I believe it was, I remember there was a calendar there that was dated, that was on the wall, dated back to 1968 or something.
Still on the
along
wall.
those lines. And it was.
Yeah.
I literally just touched it, and it literally like flaked and broke apart.
Love those places.
Like those places are cool. Yeah.
The places you can just walk back inside and it's like stepping back in time.
It's a time
like
capsule.
Ethan.
Yeah,
Like
absolute
I
time capsule.
totally get why he has that obsession.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because I grew up in that type of living too, that era of homes and stuff. But yeah, that's the style you want to be in back in those days.
Yeah.
Well, Ethan's just a very old soul.
He is,
right? Because he's very young, but with a very old antique soul.
Yeah.
That's why he likes the old retro stuff, right? So he always says, he's like, man, I grew up in the wrong time, right? And I'm like, yeah,
sure
based
with
on
him.
like the cars that you like, the houses that you like, like, you know, you're obsessed with wallpaper of all things. And I've given him like crazy ideas. I'm like, bro, you should literally just design merch, like t-shirts that are all just retro wallpaper.
Yeah.
And your
That's a good
audience
idea,
would
yeah.
love it.
Yeah,
Right?
that's right.
Like you should totally do that. Like that would actually be pretty cool, right? As long as you can find like some good wallpaper or something. Maybe some good old brick wallpaper. Or
Is that
whatever.
wallpaper?
Yeah, you didn't realize that?
Is it?
Yeah, it's actually
Oh,
wallpaper.
wow. Good job,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Who did it?
I did it.
He did it all.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know what the hell I was
You're
doing.
hired.
Yeah. So
I
most
honestly
people.
thought that was real brick.
So you guys, he's
No.
doing a side hustle, eh? And wallpaper installations. Contact Angelo as needed.
I mean, somebody had to do it, right?
And YouTube doesn't
So-
pay that well, right? So.
Nah, I'm just like, I don't know. It was this wallpaper was annoying because the problem with the walls here is if you look, everything's like
Slanted.
it's not like a perfectly straight wall. So there was like certain sections of the wall that I had to kind of redo or whatever, or maybe buy some beware of chicken signs to hide certain
That'll work,
spots that
yeah.
mismatched things, right? So hence the reason why that beware of chicken sign. Now I just exposed myself and everybody knows why it's there.
Mistake,
But I don't
guys.
care.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious, right?
Okay,
There was
he's
a-
fired.
but yeah, don't hire me to do wallpaper because first of all, I won't do it because I have already said I'm never doing it ever again. Next time it's just straight up paint. But yeah, I think it came out all right. But yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We're about almost 2 hours, guys.
Oh, wow.
wow.
So this is what I mean. Like the time just flies here.
Yeah.
Right? And the Brave podcast.
That's what I said. Like when I tune in a few of your guys' episodes,
Yeah.
it's like, how long have I been sitting here?
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
for real.
And you don't even actually realize that it's
That's
been
right.
this long. Like
So
a lot
all
of
you guys
people.
out there, hey, tune in. Man.
Oh, yeah, when
They
you
got
do
it coming, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys
Thank
got
you.
it. Yeah.
Thanks.
It's really enjoyable, all the content.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Glad you like
100%.
it.
Yeah.
Glad somebody likes it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. It's a
Thank
very
you for
fun
watching the Brave
experience.
podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching the Brave podcast. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. And also, don't forget to go and follow our friends Forgotten Productions
thank you.
and this
Thank you.
guy over here
Appreciate
too,
that.
Moshio. So
Yeah.
don't forget about him. But yeah, it's a fun experience.
Who is it
People.
over there? Moshi?
Moshi on YouTube and Instagram.
subtle plug. But yeah, most people when they come in here, they're kind of like nervous because they're like, they don't know how it's gonna go, and
That was Andrew.
that was Andrew.
Yeah, he was calling
how
me
did you
before
feel
when
about
he's
it?
like, dude, I don't know what's gonna happen there. Like, bro, just chill.
Dude,
You'll
it's
be
not
yourself,
like-
man. It's cool.
You know, we're not like
Yeah.
some weird secret
won't like-
society
no,
here.
it's not Sunday.
It's
It's
not
pretty fun.
Sunday.
It wasn't bad. Yeah,
Right?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
just
it.
like-
I appreciate you guys inviting me.
Yeah, no,
Appreciate
no
it.
Had a lot of
problem.
fun. Yeah.
Thank you for coming
Yeah.
out. Right,
Excited to have you guys back soon.
Oh, that'd
Yeah.
be great.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we should definitely go and do Burwash.
Let's do it.
Yeah, because
Is,
there's a
is
lot of.
Moshi coming?
I mean,
Not up
so
there, boy.
Moshi did one haunted location with me
Yeah.
when I first started,
Yeah.
and he refused to even get out of the car. So for
Oh, yeah,
him
Kirby
to
Road, wasn't
Kirby
it?
Road.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. So for him, I think to drive 4 hours, park in the middle of nowhere, and then hike for 1.5 hours,
That's the fun
and then
part.
camp
It's the
overnight in a haunted, abandoned, decrepit old
go.
building that's been sitting there for almost 50 years
We're
now.
leaving right now.
We're going.
Leave right now.
We're gonna
Shut it
pack up
down.
the Subarus.
Yeah.
No luggage.
Moshi's got here. Okay. We're out. We'll see you guys on that video.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much where we're gonna end it off today, unless anybody else has any other
No, just
Questions?
thanks for having us, guys.
questions,
Really good.
concerns.
Yeah.
Please state your case
It's,
now.
it's about time we got together again. You know?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, for
dude.
real.
It's been so long.
4 years is long enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you travel the world. you
I
know?
guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
stuck in
just,
concrete land. Like,
well, I
building
mean,
homes for a
choices,
while,
right?
but-
Yeah.
So no, I honestly, I am pretty blessed to be like where I am. I mean, I know I owe a lot of it to the big guy above.
That's right.
10% to the big guy.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, like not only that, but I've kind of, busted my ass, I guess, a
100%.
little bit,
No,
just a little bit, 14-hour days, 7 days a week for the last like 4 years, basically since I have not stopped. Honestly, I have not stopped.
I've tried to make plans with you a few times, and you're like, "Oh, I'm going here that day."
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'll message you later.
But no, seriously, we definitely need to. I mean, I am being more local now because of the studio.
I noticed
so
you're
and it is
on
doing beer wash again. I mean, I've done it once, but I really want to do it again. So it's 100% on the list,
Yeah,
right?
we'll make a good video.
Yeah, we'll make.
You'll be like, I wish I would have went.
So, and then maybe after we do that, we'll come back and do another podcast and talk about how crazy Brew Wash was.
Cool.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah, 100%. Alrighty, guys, that is where we're going to end off this episode. Again, for real this time, thank you so much for coming and joining us for the last 2 hours. If you made it all the way through, if you didn't, oh well.
Hold on, wait. No, I'm joking.
Hold on, wait, I have another story. But no, seriously, thank you so much for coming to watch these bangers. It's been a fantastic evening with the boys, especially since it's been like 4 years since we've seen each other.
It feels like we were just hanging out yesterday, though. That's what's crazy about this. Yeah.
Very natural.
I was literally
It's like
just
I've
going to
known
say
him for so long.
It's very natural talking to you guys.
Absolutely.
Very easy. Yeah.
But yeah, so subscribe to us, turn notifications on. Of course, go and subscribe to everybody else here. I'll leave everybody's links in the description below. And yeah, that is pretty much it. See ya.
We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.